chill for the rest of the stream.
Well, and any problems, we'll fix it in post.
Right
we'll do
now,
it live.
I won't even mention any other.
Do it live!
Anything like
Fuck
that
it.
for the rest
We'll
of the
do
day.
it
I won't even
live!
mention it
Fuck
once.
it.
Hey, go right in, we'll do
We
it
have to get it
live!
right now.
Fucking thing sucks!
Minecraft is gonna be.
It's funny because I remember my mom, she would
Minecraft
put
was
like
originally
Bill
gonna be Monday
O'Reilly
night,
on.
Cyrax.
Yeah.
Now it'll probably be Tuesday night.
Like growing up,
Probably
and
do
it's
Doom
like, then
Oh,
I
wow.
found out about the Do It 5
Advanced
thing,
Edition
and
today.
I pull it
So
up,
we're
and
gonna
then
play that
the only
Monday
reason I even
night
heard about that was
Tuesday,
because
and then we're gonna do it
I remember
Tuesday
Angry
night.
Joe, he did a review of DMC
What
Devil
happened?
May Cry, and
Oh, wow.
the news reporter guy is a boss fight, and
I guess
from what I
I'm
understand,
gonna
he's kind of a spoof of Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, okay. Actually, let me see if this.
Which is probably a part of Capcom no one ever wants to call happen, but you know,
Yeah.
that was a good old Inafune. Inafune.
Yeah.
Appeal to the
You
West,
gotta
even
love
though we
someone
don't
like
know
this.
what
Oh, if
the
he stopped
West actually
actually
wants.
begging, I'd actually consider donating. Except you didn't.
Okay, let me.
You didn't. When
Yeah,
I wasn't
please give
saying anything
me
about
more
it.
money,
So you're full of
guys,
crap.
in this already tight economy.
Yeah.
I guess that's the end of the map.
So yeah. So for anyone in watching, anyone in the chat, we literally just like turned the stream on.
Yep.
And literally
Oh, no,
just
no,
went
no, no.
live, and he's already begging. We already caught him begging. So like.
Caught him e-begging, like DSP tends to do. But I could also say that about Review Tech USA, especially
You're in the area.
not that that channel exists anymore. The dude
Hit an
just like
invisible
duped his
wall.
own
I didn't realize
channel.
it was there.
Yeah.
There's oil,
He
here
just does
and
like the
here.
live streams or whatever.
Yeah. And I think all like half of his live streams are just like covering Phil too, because that's probably
'Cause
the
they're,
only,
like-
that's probably the only person lower than him that he can like get a W on is Phil.
Well, you know what they say: birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
The sad fact is, you remember the day that I did not once, during that entire day, I did not ask for a single contribution. You remember that? And guess what? I didn't hit any goals the whole day.
Do you believe that? Do you believe he
Because I
didn't
didn't ask
ask
for it, I
for
got nothing.
anything for a whole stream? Or a whole
Yeah,
day?
I don't believe it either. I was actually trying to turn it up at that point, and for the reason it. Okay, does this go up?
The volume thing
Oh,
on
no,
on the bottom right, or
Yeah, that's what I was like trying to hear it, and I'm like hear him better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds a little bit louder. I think it's working. It's a
okay.
little funky. That's all.
Okay.
I think we only use this watch party like one other time.
Yeah.
Let me actually check.
Because I know we can both control it, but I would assume our volume control is independent. Like that would be stupid if
So you know what it is?
Like,
If,
I
if we're
lower
like
it,
if
and it
we're
lowers it for you.
linked together at the hip
We're not
on
actually
that
delivering the,
aspect.
you know, the oil. We're delivering the container. They're gonna.
Let me see.
take
I just want to
out
make sure
oil
we're
there, and they're gonna
we're
put it into the container. They're fracking here, right?
yeah we're good on sound on
Okay.
live stream.
good.
There you go.
Yeah. Imagine we do this and then everyone's like,
Why is
got
it
like
so-
a John Cage 433
Yeah.
restream guys, you know.
Okay.
You know. I do like how he's like following the rules of the road.
Pretty empty road.
I wonder if that's
Yeah.
if that there's like a mode for that, or if he's just like doing that on if that's like a self-imposed challenge, or maybe like someone's like, "Oh, I'll give you $50 if you like don't break the law."
Vibes know you may be surprised at this, but I don't.
Which you know
follow
he already is because he's like driving
you know,
down the middle of the road here.
I hear that Ethan
Yeah.
Ralph was beaten up
and then what is it?
I don't pay attention to anything. I really don't. I don't care.
I was like, there's a fault that
follow,
occurred
you know,
by
internet.
just I was like,
Nonsense communities and stuff.
oh yeah, is he like using a controller? Or is he probably he probably doesn't
He's
have like
probably
a driving
using a
gear on.
controller. I think I've seen some clips like recently where he's like, "Oh, I don't want to play with keyboard, guys. Come on."
Well, no, for a game like for driving games like this, I mean, if you
We'll do the
on
easy one,
computer,
Yeah.
granted, I've
This
never
one's even
gone
harder.
down that
What
rabbit
they would
hole,
want
and I
me to
don't know.
do a
You know.
backwards
Yeah, no,
backup.
yeah, I get, yeah, I would play this with a controller rather than a keyboard, but I think,
Well, no,
I don't think he
I mean,
plays
like-
anything with keyboard.
Well, no, I meant like driving down the driver sim like road, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
You know, where people get like these like crazy like wheels and
Nice
stuff. Which
and
we actually do have like an old like racing wheel
yeah.
from like the Windows XP era.
Oh wow.
which I doubt works.
So it's
They might
actually
be-
it's for a PC or was it for a console?
It was for PC. It was
Okay.
definitely not for console.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't really that whole like
Cool.
thing wasn't even like
Excellent
a thing
again.
until like PS2.
Whoa, we actually
Yeah.
did make
And we didn't get to
big ones
PS2
now.
until,
7,000,
like,
so good. Oh,
2007,
come on, hit level
2008.
3. All right. Why
When
won't
it was
we
like
do more
on
then?
sale.
Yeah.
New upgrades are
I just remember I was
available?
walking into the garage where I live, and my brother he had had it under his bed, and I saw like Virtua Fighter 4, and I knew that was not on like Dreamcast. I said, looked at my brother. He's like, shh. You like, don't make a big noise about it, you know.
But I can't really see it.
I don't know if he was trying to. I don't know why he was trying to make
I'm
it
a
a
fan of the Warhammer
secret.
universe.
You know, it's
well,
his money.
I learned a lot about it during when I had the
Yeah.
PSP versus the
I got
Reaction,
like
and we did play a Warhammer game last year that was pretty fun. So
I got like a
I
cheap
did enjoy it.
racing wheel like I think like a year or two ago for the
we'll do
Xbox.
this.
It's
Through the mountain.
I think the brand is Spider or something, but it was like one of those Ferrari branded ones. And I got it on sale for like $60, but like
I don't know if these actually increase your driving or if they
it,
just for
I mean you definitely get what you paid for because you could only turn the wheel like 90 degrees each way.
side skirts.
So it's like it feels like baby's first racing wheel. Like I'm surprised Ferrari were okay slapping their
Door
name on that.
handles.
As long as it brings in income, who cares?
Yeah.
Look at this weird thing,
I just
skull-
realized I should have like the art
skull handle.
set up here, like just in case we get any like
Yeah, look
comments.
at
like
different transmissions. I mean, I don't really
Oh,
think
yeah,
one
I have
person,
my-
we
I
got
have
one,
my
we got
phone
one
pulled
person
too.
watching us
I
right
should
now.
probably save
Yeah.
my money, right?
Yeah,
you
I have
say
chat
that
pulled up
later,
on
you
my
actually
phone
make
too.
your,
Hopefully
You make your own.
Well,
business.
yeah,
So
but I
I'm
know
gonna save the money for when I
sometimes
make my own
I'll
business.
notice something and you won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember that one time we were playing. You were
Drive.
playing the
No trouble. We're gonna do
VTuber
jobs.
game.
Quick jobs. Here we
And
Oh,
go.
yeah,
that one guy was like,
All right, last job of the night, everyone. Again,
And
I
I'm
hope
like-
you guys
I'm
enjoyed.
like, man,
Thanks to
did
those
he
who
just
did
have like a
support.
lot of really
Last
good
chance
pizza
to
or
support,
something?
hit the goal. This is
Yeah.
my last job of the night. Damn, they really upped them. Look. Okay. Damn, that's huge. 18 hours. Now we
So
gotta
yeah,
do
we're trying something a little different tonight. We've like mentioned in passing like various lolcow topics before.
Yep.
But yeah,
feel like
we're
we'll be leaving.
and on the last stream I did with Karma, I kind of introduced him to the world of
Still
DSP.
to San Diego.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the Digimon one yesterday.
No, there was a one. It was last weekend. We played.
And it's a lot of money.
Well, I had him come over
bee
and
harvester?
I had him play Andy, the
What is a bee
Coffin of
harvester?
Andy and Laylee.
65,000 pounds?
Oh,
What the
okay.
hell
I
is
don't
a
think I
bee
saw
harvester?
much of that one.
Okay, yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
know
So we
what
played that
is.
for like 2 hours, and then
What am I playing
we
Subsim again? I don't
we
know.
needed a snack break, so we
Let's
just
see if
threw
we
on
hit the goal
some
tonight, and maybe
DSP.
that'll help
Oh,
me make my
okay.
decision. All right. Hair of the dog, thanks for a $2 super chat. Molly
Yeah,
just
so
did a
he's
$5
been
super chat.
crashing out
Thank you,
on a lot of
guys.
stuff lately. Mainly his did you hear about his Switch 2 pre-order bungle?
We're getting there. Last
I
job of the
saw a
night.
headline maybe
Let's
about
do
it, but I
this
never
bee harvester.
heard like
Yeah.
what the details were. I was like thinking, okay, what? Anytime I see DSP in the headline, I'm like, man, what happened this
What
time?
am I gonna
You
hold
know,
some Silson Blue?
like someone should do like a comedy show where it's like today with DSP and it's like all the stuff he
look at
tends to
it.
do.
Holy shit.
But you like obviously you'd have to like freshen it up a bit,
Oh, I can't-
because otherwise the
wow,
joke gets
it's
old.
huge.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Like
alone.
the comment he just made, like, wow, it's huge. I feel like you could take that.
Or that's what they call it. It doesn't actually harvest it.
Like, you remember that
It is, but it's huge.
the
It's
one
giant.
Metroid Dread thing I showed you, it's like
65,000 pounds.
Unique,
Goddamn.
he read the guy's name wrong,
Yeah.
and there's like it's like
Yeah.
Tyrone cooked me,
Yeah, so initially what we thought, because of what he said and what he did, is like someone just kind of like got his order number and called Walmart and canceled his Switch 2 pre-orders because he was stupid enough to show his confirmation email on stream
That's better, right?
to like
Well, yes and no.
brag to everybody. He's like, "Oh, look guys, I got a Switch 2 pre-order and you didn't, and I got 2 of them." But what happened was
That's good. Now I can see it while I'm driving. Okay.
Walmart has a one Switch per
I think
household
this is a bigger
policy.
truck because we
And
are
I guess
all-
DSP
Yeah,
thought
that's-
he would pull a quick one by using like 2 different credit cards and 2 different accounts.
No? Yep.
But they obviously saw the address and they're like, all right, we're canceling both of your
Oh
switches.
shit! I got the harvester caught.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like someone is just like, oh, it's time to troll DSP. I'm surprised it's like a Walmart policy because I thought like Nintendo was doing that, was kind of sort of doing that.
Well,
thing
yeah,
where they're-
Nintendo may have like passed that on to like all the retailers. They're like, hey, don't let anyone buy more than one.
Yeah. We got like an r/mildly bad drivers moment here from DSP. Although I do like that it says like oversized load. You know,
Oversized load, which I didn't realize.
that's like that's normally not something you see like them reference.
Yeah.
Skid marks. How appropriate of a username for what he's doing right now.
Oh man. I'm surprised he
Now we're
still
good.
gets
We're clear.
like regular donations
That was a pain.
that like
Well, I think
aren't troll donations.
So this is gonna
I
be
feel like all of
really
his donations
wide
at this
terms,
point have to be troll
okay?
donations.
This thing is giant.
Yeah, but you
So I
think
have
like
to try to
like if it's a
turn
troll
as wide as I
donations,
possibly
someone would
can
like
this piece
put
of
something in
fucking,
the super chat message or something.
truck. Damn, this is gonna be challenging.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I mean, I remember
Skid marks.
reading
What an
like about
amazing name.
DSP. There was like
$5
one
super
guy
chat.
who's
I
like a
love the
pizza
chill vibes of
delivery
trucking in
guy
the
or
laws.
something.
Here's
This is like a
my
random
support.
comment
Think
Yeah.
about
on like
skid
one of the
marks.
various this is how you don't play
Skid marks
videos.
just got
Yeah.
us to 100. 50 to
He
go. To hit the
said like
goal
he was doing a
and
pizza
continue
delivery
on with trucking
and
nights. We'll call
the
them
guy
trucking
was like
nights.
the guy was
Who
just
wants
like
trucking nights to continue? Who had a good time tonight and wants
the
more
customer, he was
trucking?
just watching
We
DSP.
want to keep
And he's like,
trucking.
holy crap. And he's like,
So
oh
let's
yeah,
do
I
it.
just like
Let's hit
watching the guy,
goal
like,
and truck on.
you know, he's just like, well, just laughs at like all the failures he does.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if he ever actually
Alright.
like truly went broke, we got no more DSP, no more lolcow.
Which, you know, it's like
Yeah, I'm
crazy
Friday
to
Night
think like
Freaks-
he's
Friday Night
survived
Freaks
this
is
long
Nut Filter. That's
with
a
the
good
whole
one.
like wrestler
Friday Night
thing.
Freaks or
Yeah.
Keep
You know,
on
people
trucking
thought that
nights.
like him having to declare
To be honest,
bankruptcy,
I'm very
like,
disappointed we
like,
kicked tonight.
all right,
You
it's time
guys
for
were
the
there,
coming
you
to
were
the
talking
conclusion,
all
and then he gets it all
But-
declared as like business expenses or
Yeah.
whatever.
One sub all
Oh
night is all
man,
we
speaking
got.
of bankruptcy, I wonder how Karl Jobst is gonna deal with that. Like,
Yeah, I just transitioned into that, and
Yeah.
wasn't even necessarily thinking about it. But
like,
yeah,
like imagine like handling bankruptcy worse than DSP.
Are we going
Like,
straight or are we going right? I don't know.
well, don't you
Shit,
know?
I think we're going right.
I had to really show
We are
that
going
Billy
right.
Mitchell
Okay.
was the devil
This
incarnate.
is tough.
He's just as evil, if not more evil, than Donald Trump,
This is
who is
real
literally
tough.
Hitler. And I totally don't sound like I could be a Nazi myself if I change my
No Kino
accent
entry, just
to
gifted
be a
sub.
little bit more
Thank you, no
like,
Kino
you
entry
know,
for the gifted sub.
more
There's two
German.
gifted subs tonight.
he's definitely albino enough for it.
We're now up to 105.
I mean, he's albino enough to
All right,
be,
we got some momentum. Let's keep it going.
what is it?
Next.
What's the name of the...
Let's keep that road
I've only seen like the first
wide
Blade Runner
turn.
like once.
Yeah.
I've not even
Road
seen like the
delivery
sequel. I forget
tonight.
the guy's name. It's the guy who looks like Brian Fury.
Roy Batty, the
Yeah,
the villain?
yeah.
Yeah.
Once you tell me, once I hear the name,
yeah.
you know,
No Kino entry.
I've only seen that once. I think my brother has the Blu-ray of that. I have not.
Wow.
Anyways.
Yeah,
So-
actually, I have the 4K. I have the Blu-ray Special Edition, which I had to like buy that secondhand on eBay because
How
I
about this?
like
If someone
for
on Kick
years
right now
Amazon had
gets
it
10 subs,
like
gets
the
goal,
special
I'll give
Blu-ray
all the
collector's
badges.
edition of it
VIP
with like all the
NLG.
different
If someone does
cuts.
10 sub bomb right now on
Um,
Kick, I'll
Oh,
give all the
I don't
badges.
think this one was like anything
I never
crazy
did
like
that.
that. I think it was
It's
just
always
like
20 or
Yeah.
more.
as far as
10
what I
subs.
remember, but it could be
For
it
the
should be, like,
yeah
old.
for the longest
That's right,
time
one time
Amazon had
only,
it and it was always like
time.
on sale around like $15 or
American
less.
Truck Simulator
This was like
Premium
years and years
Deal.
ago, but they always had it, and I was like,
Let's get it. 10
and I always
sub
kept it in my cart, and I was like, I'll get it
Badges
eventually.
right now
And like,
give them
this was like back when I first started working, so like I didn't spend money. I didn't spend my money all
But
that
if
much.
you don't take advantage, I'm gonna
And then-
remove
Yeah,
someone's
understandable.
badges.
You
Yeah.
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, and then one day it went out of
Just
stock, and I'm like,
delete their
all right, well it's
badges
gonna come
right
back in
now.
stock, right? And then never came back in stock. So maybe like a year or two after that, like
So if you have badges you want to
Might have
keep
been like
them,
some like
you should
a
probably
few
do
of
the
them or
deal,
something,
so that
and
way you
then
keep
like
your
they lose
badges,
the
or else it
rights
might
to
be
distribute it or
removing yours, you don't
whatever.
know.
yeah. And that specific edition, I've never seen it reprinted since.
How do you like that deal?
So I did end up like buying that off of
Who's
eBay,
Lucy?
eBay for like a
Just
lot more than
dropped a 10
$15.
sub bomb. Seriously,
But,
Loose Lucy
Probably
did it.
probably still
Loose Lucy
cheaper
just
than
saved
getting
all
a
your
copy of
badges, 'cause now we
Snatcher
can
on
remove some
Sega CD.
badges.
Oh, yeah,
Loose Lucy
for
took
sure.
advantage. There you go.
But
Just like that.
when
That's
they
like the Earthbound of like Sega
See, that's
games,
how you
other
do
than like
yeah
no, no, that would be Musha
That's how you
or
reel in your
Crusader
deal.
Ascenti. Anyways,
yeah.
um,
But yeah, then
All right, we got it.
when they
Yeah,
eventually
good
did
to
the
go.
4K
Loose Lucy,
Blu-ray
let me know if you want
release,
me to give those badges to
um,
somebody else,
they
or
didn't
to you, or
like
what do
reprint
you
the
want me to
special
do?
edition,
All right?
but the
Tag me in
4K
chat,
Blu-ray
tell me.
release did come with
Well,
all
ladies
the
and
other
gentlemen, we
cuts,
have done
so
it.
you technically could get like all the exact same content the special edition had, just minus the fancy packaging.
We've done it. We've hit
well,
the
that's great
goal.
if you have a 4K Blu-ray player, but I don't have a
Let's celebrate.
PS4.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the PS4, not even the Pro, never
Thank
that
you
that
for
never did.
support for the first ever American Truck Simulator stream.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
only
appreciate
the
it.
PS5,
Lucy
I think.
wants 'em. All right, Loose Lucy wants them. Loose
No,
Lucy
I'm
gets 'em.
thrown off
Right
by
now.
like
Thank you for supporting me no matter what I do. I really appreciate
like
all
big
of you.
celebration.
Thank you guys so very, very much.
I thought he was like getting celebrated like cookies or something. Like, the
Wait,
way- the
all this
color
is
of
for
it.
one gifted sub? This is just one gift. It would, because if it was more than one, it would say how many, right? Like, this is just for
Lucy
one
now
gifted
has
sub.
both badges.
What the hell?
Thank you, Loose Lucy, for the
Yeah,
support.
I've never really
Amazing.
like how much are
Much
gift subs?
appreciated.
I think
I'm
it's like
assuming it's
$5 or
different between, like-
$6.
Let's get back to this job because if we don't do this job.
Oh, really?
now,
That like are
we're not
universal
gonna
or
finish
the
it,
kind
'cause
of
I gotta get
variable
outta
between
here soon,
creators?
right?
I think like
Alright,
depend. I mean, he's
go.
on
We
YouTube.
got-
It might be like
yeah, we got a while to
5.
go, guys. We
Could be
gotta
more.
get-
I think
this
you
is a
can like
hard
choose how
job.
much it is, but I
A
doubt
very hard job.
it's more. Oh, okay, so it is more than
My
one
turn.
gift. Okay.
So we gotta haul it. We
Yeah.
gotta
So
haul
all right.
ass.
So that's why he was celebrating. It was more than one
It's
gifted sub.
already late.
I see. So I know there's like
It's already
there's
late. We
a
gotta go.
uh
Oh, guys, now here's the
Maximilian.
deal.
He
Some
did
people
like
are
a thing
oh, you
where
said
he
for 50 bucks that I
there's
could drive online. If I do that,
there's
it's
a
for
mod
a
where they
direct job,
put him
and
into the
I
game
don't have time.
Yeah.
and his voices and
Here, how
stuff.
about this?
Yeah.
And he made this bet because on the second because he's playing as Leon, and with Resident Evil 2 you play it basically 2 times.
Yeah.
Like one time as Leon, one time as Claire, you know, vice versa. So you get like the full scenario basically.
Yeah.
There's like some story differences, but like basically Claire A, Leon B is like the canon, is like the official canon.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll remove it. I'll
And
remove these so people don't
he's
get
playing
upset
as
that it's still up there.
Leon B,
You've
and
already
he
earned
makes a
it.
bet to gift
We'll do
subs
it
that
next time.
if he kisses himself,
Very first thing,
because
because I don't have time to do it.
it's a randomizer. He's also doing like a randomizer, and it
Especially with the fact that we're
randomizes
doing
the
wide
characters
load
and the
right
voice
now.
lines
Yeah.
Okay.
for like this one scene. He gives them like 1,000. It's like some ridiculous amount, and like
Oh, shit, there's a cop
lo
right
and
next to me.
behold,
Oh,
he
boy.
gets that amount. And
I am
you should
definitely-
see his face. He's like
Someone
mouth
said that the cops
agape the
will
whole
pull you over. I
time.
haven't experienced that yet.
Because it's like
So,
how
shit.
impossible that it was, you
Yeah.
know. So I should put myself or something
Why stay
like with,
behind the
and
cop?
just like say a bunch of random stuff that has
How would
like
the cop
nothing
know
to
it's
do with
me?
anything, in that or
There's a
whatever.
huge oil tanker
Yeah.
right next to me.
I wouldn't use my actual face
Or
though,
tanks.
you
Yeah.
know.
Not a real brand.
But yeah, I was saying I don't have like a 4K Blu-ray player because I don't, you know, even the PS4 Pro
Yeah.
has that, and I don't have
Lucy,
like
Lucy, you're
Xbox.
okay with that, right? You're okay with
I don't
us
feel like
having
getting an
another,
Xbox, not
American Truck
refrigerator,
Simulator
whatever,
stream and doing the blindfold
whatever
right at the
else.
beginning?
Yeah.
You know.
I hope you're
Yeah,
okay
But I
with
don't-
that.
I have
Again, I
the
really
the
wanna
Series
finish
X,
this job
but
tonight. We don't have a lot of
like
time.
most,
We
if
gotta
not
hurry.
all, 4K Blu-rays are HDR, and I don't have an HDR TV or a 4K TV, so like if I try to play a 4K Blu-ray on it, it just looks like really washed out.
Oh fuck!
Oh, it's like it's dependent on HDR for like the picture
Sure, more
quality.
shoes is the
Yeah,
better,
like
said
everything
Lucy.
just looks
Okay,
like
there you
washed
go.
out and like kind of
Lucy
bright
is
gray
okay with it, so we're
if
good.
you don't have HDR.
Aha. For everyone who
I've also
wants
heard
to
like a lot of
play.
those 4K Blu-rays,
Okay, now let's
like the
continue. Let's
quality
finish
of the
job.
master of the
We'll definitely
movie
do another
or
one.
Yeah.
show or
We'll do
whatever
a stream of it. We hit the
tends
goal
to be
tonight. Why not? We have
very all
fun
over the
right
place.
now,
Like I have a
right?
term.
Oh,
I have,
yeah, yeah.
I have Terminator 2, and I have it's one of those ones that comes
I
like
bought
the
the
DVD,
game, so obviously I
Blu-ray,
wanna
and the
do more
4K,
content. I
and the
don't
digital.
know
It's the ones that you
when
see
get
at
to build your own
Walmart.
business.
Yeah.
You know,
This is a
frankly,
very high-dollar job
that
we're doing right now,
that
so
used to sell at Walmart and Best Buy before they stopped selling everything physical. You
Yeah.
know.
Does anyone know
So
what-
I actually do know some stuff specifically about that. Pretty much like all the James Cameron directed movies, for the 4K versions, instead of just like doing a simple rescan of the film, of like the original film reel to 4K, he like AI upscaled all of them to 4K.
Like ESR again. Well, that's for textures. But like that's like the era of like AI upscale we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not like chat. This is before Chat GPT. You know, everyone started freaking out about Chat GPT, and now it's
Okay,
gonna
I'm really starting
like
to
put
this
everyone
stuff.
out of work or whatever.
Yeah. So like
Um,
James Cameron
yeah.
went like full George Lucas, and he's like, "Oh no, AI. This is the way to go. This is how we should upscale all our movies to
I mean,
4K."
I am really hauling ass with this giant bee harvester thing.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I
Okay, so
mean,
Blucher says you can get loans
yeah,
to
it's
100K
one of those things
now.
where it's
You
like,
need
yeah, you
9
can do
to
that,
buy
but you
your
also
own
have
truck.
to
When you buy
touch
your own
everything
truck, you
up,
start your
and
own business.
Yeah.
Really? All right, so how about
And
this
then
next time around?
with like other
First things
like
first when we start.
the mid 2010s like kind of movies, like especially like anyone that was like shot digitally, those were usually shot on like 2K digital cameras, or even if they were shot on 4K, a lot of them were edited at 2K just because computers probably couldn't handle it at the time. So the final like exported file would still be 2K. So a lot of those would also like a lot of those 4K Blu-ray releases are also just upscales.
I just remember being reminded. I remember watching like Matt and Muscles What Happened about the making of the Room,
Yeah.
and how like he shot on both like film and like digital. And if he was to do it again, if he was to do that today, he would probably like shoot on like like some even more crazier beast or something of a setup.
Yeah.
Which I have no. I'm assuming you would have a bit, based on your experience with some things, you might have a little bit better idea what that looks like.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you imagine the Room shot on like an IMAX camera?
What's up, Deadpool? How are you?
in real movie, no Mickey Mouse stuff.
They want to stay left. Okay. Do not
Anything else is just chicken, cheap.
And the thing, like, I've heard that, like, with the IMAX cameras, they're, like, super loud. So even if, like, the boom mic is far away, it could, like, still pick up the camera noise. So I could just
wow.
imagine, like, I did not hit her scene, but you hear, like, a bunch of camera noise over it.
It'd be like, I think you hit the boom mic and like the filter to like filter out the camera noise, and they're like having to do that for like 300 takes or however many takes it. I still have yet to see The Disaster Artist. I do have it on I do have the disc and everything.
Yeah, I watched it a few years ago. I remember that's like the only scene I like clearly remember. Is like how many like it took like a million takes for that.
Yeah, because he was like just high or drunk or something,
Yeah.
Joining us very late. This is my final job of the night.
But yeah, so Carl, he's officially declared bankruptcy. His I mean, I don't know what that looked like in Australia. I just
So
know, like,
what I heard is, as far as like the court stuff, like that doesn't go away with bankruptcy in Australia. So I don't know if that's gonna help
like the
him at all.
500K or however much he owes Billy.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put on. It's only 10 minutes, so I'm gonna put on this video here. I'll put it in the watch party, and we could always go back to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even have to like.
Wow, it's
This
Yeah.
this guy, Karl Jobst, needs to get the f off Discord.
I was gonna say, is there like no like face cam on this?
Burn that Discord, light it on f***ing fire, run. Don't walk away from this Discord, Karl.
Man, he's doing all the talking for us.
The stuff that keeps coming out of this guy's
The
Discord.
only reason I
so
say that
it's
is because I haven't
been
seen it. Like,
revealed
I'm sure you have.
that
Yeah, I
Karl
watched this while I was
Jobst
eating
owns
earlier. It's actually
Oh, I see.
yeah. So Billy's still like roasting him on Twitter every day, and Carl is still saying stupid shit in his Discord.
And I just spent the GoFundMe money on myself or something. So in a future video, I'll list out how much I'm out of pocket. Let's go! That's such a bad idea, but he's got to do it. Like
He's gonna list. He's literally gonna list out like all this like.
Hello, you absolute legends. Now, these are my court fees. First of all, I owe 500K to Billy Mitchell, then my lawyers want another 500K, and his lawyers want another 500K.
I know he would never do this, but I would love to see Luke Smith react to this because he would probably be like having a meltdown because knowing how like paranoid he tends. Well, not I don't want to say
He
paranoid,
wants
but
to make this known to everybody.
like he doesn't like do like bank
why.
apps and stuff like
Alright,
that
so here
on
we have
people's
more.
phones.
And by the way, the
Yeah.
appeal has been lost and it's over.
So
He says, I thought Billy's lawyers
Oh yeah, and
costed
the
less
time
to
for appeal
someone
is
else on
over, so
Discord.
there's
And,
no
Carl
saving
says
Carl here.
Billy paid more
I was gonna
than
say,
you.
didn't he like try to appeal and it
So
like got
Billy's
rejected or something?
expenses,
He said he was
which
going
Carl
to,
now has
but
cover,
what Billy said is he just
Oh,
never
that's-
like submitted anything.
Probably approaching
It was like he just like was like
or
puffing up,
more.
be like, I'm gonna
So just
appeal,
in terms
Yeah.
of
and then
legal
he's like
fees
he just
alone,
never followed up with it.
these guys
Yeah.
put
I'm pretty sure in his
$1.8
non-apology video he even said he was going to
billion into
appeal,
this.
which well that aged terribly.
That's insane. Wait, so
Like,
does he have to
famous
pay-
last
does he
words.
have to actually
Yeah.
pay Billy's cost though?
Yes, he has to pay all of Billy's costs.
You know,
Plus,
and the
he
thing
has to
is,
pay, like, the $500,000
I'm sure Billy Mitchell is a
judgment.
pretty rich guy.
So
You know,
yeah,
he
it
has
was
his own
like
restaurant.
almost
You know,
$2
he's
million
he's had his own restaurant
Yeah.
since like
That's
childhood, basically, from my understanding. You know, from what
Yeah,
he told me.
pretty much. And now his hot
So-
sauce business is like doing better than ever.
Billy
per year.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like, you know what it's like? It's
That's bad.
I just had this funny idea. Like, imagine if in our
So
lifetime,
then this guy
like, you know
says,
how a lot of people are
"Yeah,
like,
the
oh, Donald
lawyer
Trump, he's never going to be
took me
president.
to
And like,
the
Yeah.
before
court
2016,
Yeah.
you know, because he had like some, I mean, people don't remember, but he tried to run for president a few times beforehand.
Yeah.
It was always kind of like, kind of just not serious, you know.
Yeah, I remember even like back like when Stephen Colbert was on the Colbert Report, like every 4 years that would like come up and he would make fun of him every time.
Everything that you're curious
Yeah,
about
and
will be
it's
known.
like, and I'm like, you know what? Imagine if at some point in our lifetime, Billy Mitchell runs for president. And then it ends up being the same exact thing where he does like a bunch of stuff that, you know, people actually want to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
and
man,
it's
that
like,
would be hilarious.
and people just like, you know, it's like the same, like, you know, Billy derangement syndrome, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. Oh my god, CNN every night would be like, he cheated at Donkey Kong. He cheated at Donkey Kong and you still voted for him. What's wrong with you?
And then they try to interview Steve Wasebe. I don't
Oh,
I
Steve
forget the guy's.
Weeby?
Weeby, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to interview him, and he's like, he's just like, dude, I don't care, you know. I'm in like a much different place in life, you know.
He's like, dude, I'm a high school teacher. Like, I don't care.
Seriously, Billy will be
Yeah.
bankrupt soon. I'm not joking in any capacity.
Oh yeah, so the screenshot is back from 2023. So
I was gonna say, he said he's bankrupt. I'm like, I don't think so. So you
yeah,
know,
when I was watching, I was like, where? I had to like double check. Like, what the hell?
I'll look at like the date on the Discord post there.
Yeah.
I mean, he moved assets out of his name.
So people were like, well, you know, Billy could be, you know, merciful to him like he was, you know, like with Apollo, where Apollo didn't have to pay him anything. But here we have Carl being like, oh, I'm gonna take his car, I'm gonna take his business.
And I'm pretty sure Billy's not gonna. He's gonna do that thing. He's gonna go merge the ghost into one and take care of Carl in one fell swoop.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, he's gonna want Carl to pay his lawyer fees, which he was awarded. So like.
Yeah, I mean, because I hope I never have to find out what that costs. But
I think I don't know if it was confirmed, but in this video they said it was like 800,000 for Billy's lawyers.
So here's Carl saying that he declares bankruptcy in his Discord.
if we had a face cam right now, you would be seeing my mouth agape
Because
because
Billy,
that is like. I'm sure you can't like retire off of 800K. I mean, depending on where you're at in life, but
Yeah. But you know, you could take things a bit easier.
So Karl Jobst is in debt
For over $1 million.
yeah, over $1 million.
Husband, why you make us homeless
I am
over
just-
this?
I mean, I am still like, this is the most bizarre thing to take someone to court over.
Like, how up your own
and
ass
act
do you
like-
have to be, you know?
Yes, what you just said.
A
Like-
non-veiled warning to Groomer Fist.
He has
He's been watching us.
what, like a wife and how many kids?
I think just one kid, but still, you know, that kid's gonna, you know, he's not getting any Christmas presents or birthday presents for ever, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's all over, like, also, I mean, the thing is, he can go, I mean, the fact is, not Billy, Carl.
King Billy. Karl Jobst
Oh yeah, so they're saying this tweet was because Billy started watching Kino Casino, so they're saying this tweet is kind of a subtweet to Razorfist when he was threatening to sue Kino Casino.
Would happen to Groomer Fist if he took this shit to court.
Yeah, I was like looking at it to see like what's going. Yeah, and I remember Karl Jobst, you know.
I gotta say, I really am tempted to order a bottle and try it out.
Waiting for the lawsuit.
Whoa, is it gonna come?
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it. You know, I just I would need something to eat with it. You know.
Yeah.
I like how everyone's
And it's weird because I remember like the AVGN in that Transformers video. He just like, or I like his like his like teeth or something, like his tongue. And I'm like thinking, okay, why don't you actually like eat something with it, like a gyro?
Yeah.
Except it's not a gyro because you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you could down hot sauce raw, that's impressive. But you know, the whole point is to put it on something.
Come on, look at this.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna take like a thing of A1 steak sauce, just like pour it on, like you know, just like drink it. You know?
Yeah, just to prove it's good. Like.
That's so funny. Very, very funny. Oh, here we go.
I mean, like, can you imagine like them doing that with the hot ones, like that last one that they have them all do?
Yeah. I would sooner puke than like cry for water or milk or whatever if I had to drink hot sauce. Like.
Well, the one in the hot ones one is the videos is like they give him like a glass of like milk with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only reason because I don't drink milk, so I would kind of be fucked. So.
Well, you have to get like lactate or something. I take it.
No, I just don't like milk. I'm not like intolerant or anything. I just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any milk.
I see.
I didn't have the
So yeah, Carl's like, oh, I get a do-over because bankruptcy, but you know.
McDonald's employee.
Oh man, that's what AI was made for.
Yeah.
And there's James. Carl.
James
Oh, yeah.
Hurley with the Agent 47 pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Mr. Medicare's tweet. So.
Oh, the guy with the Agent 47 pick.
No, the one at the top here, Moshi Moshi Mon. That's Medicare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I've seen that account before. Maybe he's like shared it with me. I just never really made the connection that was him.
He
But then again,
changes
he's like,
it like every year, anyways. So it's not worth remembering.
Yeah, one moment he's like he's the internet aristocrat talking about conspiracies and
Yeah.
he's talking about Mr. Medicare.
Yeah. So yeah, we have this crossover now. Billy and Mr. Medicare. They've been acquainted.
Can you imagine him? You know, has Mr. Medicare's face ever like been shown?
I don't think so. I mean, like people have his entire docs, like his address and everything, but I don't think anyone's gotten like an actual picture of him.
I'm just you say like the crossover. I'm just imagining now, like you know,
Vice President Medicare.
yeah, and it's like they do like a big face reveal, and it's like all it's like really like ominous, and it's like the spotlight comes in, and
Yeah.
then it's like everyone's just like it's like a nostalgia critic reaction whenever he does the what is it whenever he does the Pee Wee Herman
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
anti-drug where he's just like
Daily wrap for what
he's just
was
like
Wednesday.
what am I watching, you know?
Today was
So what we got?
So this is via Snort Hogan, one of DSP's most dedicated clippers.
along with the Outsider and whoever else
Yeah.
is still clipping him these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is his daily rap. This is one of his many podcasts where I don't know what he's supposed to be talking about, but the daily rap is usually always like, "Hey guys, you didn't give me enough money today."
So let's talk. Okay, so first of all,
And it's
today,
like,
we started with
whatever,
a level 1
yeah.
podcast that had a cool
I mean, just
Vice
keep
City
e-begging
theme. If
until
you
the
can't
end of
tell,
time.
Today I had lighting. I had even what I was wearing today.
Some people have been
All
theorizing
towards,
that
Grand Theft Auto Vice
his
City,
wife has
because
left
of
or is
GTA
planning
6,
to leave him
announcement
because
and
like they
big
haven't
blowout
seen or
expose
heard
yesterday
anything
by
from her in a
Rockstar. I
while.
said, hey, let's do
It
some
was
cool
like
stuff with
the
that
blonde
on
one,
the
right?
podcast today, visually. But
No, I think she's like
today's
a
podcast
brunette
had
or
two
a redhead or
primary,
something, but she's like,
Oh, okay.
functions.
yeah,
Number
she used
one,
like years ago she
determine
was
what
actually
games
kind of good
we're gonna
looking,
be
but
playing
now
during
she's
today's
like
viewer choice
she's
or
ballooned
not,
a little
based
bit.
on your voting. And number two,
Well, I guess that'll
to
that'll
determine
happen with
what we're gonna be
DSP and all the
doing
stuff he
for the
tends
next
to eat.
DSP
Yeah.
tries it. Because,
You know, he
a
could
while
spend
ago,
all
so we
this
did
money
one,
on like
and we have
getting
many
himself in
different
better
options of
shape
things
as
that we
opposed
can
to having
do,
all this merch, even
So,
though some of it,
today,
I mean, some of it, I mean, like
thought
that
about
screen
it,
in the
we
back with
talked
the
about it.
Kuma, you know,
As
was
for
kind of
the
cool.
game
And I'm like thinking,
alright,
man, I wish I had
number
something
one,
like
I
that, but
found
you know,
out
Right.
that there had been a lot of
I'm not
troll
like
shenanigans.
broadcasting
That
myself and my
basically the
face to
number one game in
the internet,
polling,
and, you
Yeah.
know.
which was
And I think
Lost
like a lot of
Records,
this stuff was
Tape 2 or
after
whatever,
he like first
actually
collabed
had
with
the
Kino
least
Casino
votes
last
in
year,
any
and he got like a little bit of boost. Because I think, right after that, he was getting a couple $100 each night for a little bit, until of course he alienated them and didn't take their advice and turned down their opportunity to rehabilitate himself.
Things that people legitimately voted for. Okay, so
You know what? I just
the
realized,
games that ultimately made it into today's
I think that
marathon
clip in the
were,
back is actually from Onimusha
Counter-Strike
2.
2,
Oh,
Kingdom Come
okay.
Deliverance 2,
And you know, I know you
the
sent me that one
American
picture,
Truck
one
Yeah.
picture of
and
you know,
Paper Mario
and
and
I think
Thousand Year Door.
I might be
Now,
mixing it
the
up.
other game that was there
Might be
was
mixing
also
it up with
Class
like
of 09, but as I was basically talking
with
about it on the podcast,
Bushido Blade. But I
people
know
were
there's like,
you don't know what that game is,
wow,
do you?
I know there's like a,
Well, I'm not gonna spoil
I'm sure there's
myself.
like one
I'm
part
a
of the
gamer or
intro in
whatever.
one of those
And they're
games where they're
like,
gonna
so
cut out
basically,
because
the game is a really, really
even though it's
bad
not like
visual
showing
novel.
anything
Like,
explicit,
it's
you
meant
know.
to
Oh,
be
okay.
insulting,
It's like one of the female
and the
characters
only reason that you
showering
really
under a
like it
waterfall.
is if,
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're
no, for
really
sure.
treating it
They'll
as a
probably
joke,
just put like a
i.e.,
extra steam or
during this
like one of those
marathon, if you get, like,
sunlight
support and you
lens
get
flares
buzzed, you're drinking
over
a
it or
lot,
something
then jump in
like
and
that.
play it. But outside of that, it's not worth your
Yeah.
time. No one's gonna like the playthrough.
And then everyone's gonna buy the
It
remaster
really,
because it's
again,
a
was
remaster, and
a
they're gonna be like,
second
"Oh, who
troll
cares?"
nomination you
And
really shouldn't pay
shit is
attention
gonna keep getting worse, and they're
So I
gonna
said,
keep being like,
okay, thanks
"Oh,
for the
who cares?"
feedback. I'll
Until
keep that in mind.
everything
Until,
gets
like, things
super
get so
duper
bad that-
censored, and
Let's
then
start
they're gonna be like, "Oh,
with,
how do we get here?"
Other games. So we put
Yeah,
other games
and,
to the
yeah.
poll, and people
Well,
voted
I don't
for
want to deal with
Counter-Strike 2
emulation, you know, it's
to be the
like, you
first
know,
game,
all
okay?
the stuff we
Now, in
usually
addition to
say, and it's like, guys,
we
you know,
talked about what we will do
let the
for,
people who actually know what they're
the
talking
next
about
DSP
be
tries
like,
it, and
be
after
paranoid.
weighing and balancing
Most
various
of them,
options, we
they're just like
determined
wondering like
that
how,
Wingstop would be the next one that makes sense.
like, you know how like all the stuff like
to me
Android,
because I've
like
never
the
done
Android
Wingstop
users will be like
before,
a lot more entitled than like
and for me to try
Yeah,
things,
people
yeah.
on like
you know,
computers
Why
and
don't we have a
stuff.
PS5 emulator
would
yet?
make more sense than me saying
And it's like,
doing a place that I've done before that only has like
why would you want a
one item or something
PS5
like that.
emulator?
Okay,
Well, that's the thing.
Wingstop
Like,
is the
I don't
next
even
DSP
think it's
tries it, has
entitlement.
60
It's just
votes.
like
Okay?
they're so
So,
casual, and
we
they
drove
just like
into the
have
marathon, and we
no.
started with Counter-Strike 2 as
They don't
They
have the
have no
remotest
idea how-
idea of how any of this stuff
Okay,
works, and they're
and
just
to
like,
be honest,
"Oh, well,
Counter-Strike
obviously a
2
PS5 emulator should be out for my
literally
Android phone by now."
plays the same as
And I'm like
Counter-Strike
thinking,
1.
do you actually know
To
how
me, it feels like
emulation
almost the same
really works?
game.
Like,
I
no,
used to play
like
Counter-Strike 1
let's
in the late
let's slow
90s,
down a
early
second. Let's
2000s.
back up.
Okay, Dust. Yes, that map that everyone played.
Do you know what a
Yes, it
CPU,
feels the
what the
same.
CPU
It
in
doesn't
a
even feel like they
computer is?
changed it, besides graphics.
If you don't even know
Maybe they
that,
did. Maybe they tweaked the hitboxes,
don't even
whatever. But
ask
it feels
about emulation.
identical.
You know,
Like, you die
if
right
you want to
away
look
after
at
getting shot.
gold,
You have to get headshots
read
to
this
kill someone,
article
you know,
and
accurately
figure out what it is you need to learn, and then come back to
basically
me.
have no
You
chance
know,
to survive if you've gotten
I like-
shot
I-
once. You can't really
it's
have
mostly
another
CPU,
firefight.
and when it
Maybe
comes to
you keep your
emulation,
health back,
you know.
there's no
Yeah,
healing here.
I see both
One
sides of it
death,
too. Like, I
one
understand for
hit
devs
round.
that stuff is annoying,
Everything
but
that
once
I
you open the
remember, and
floodgates
it's a very
to like
strategically
Android,
interesting
you open the
game.
floodgates to normies,
Me jumping into
and
it
normies
after having
don't
not
know
played a game like
shit
this in
about
ages,
any of this
obviously means
stuff.
I'm gonna die a ton, although I did get some kills.
Yeah.
Like you asked
and I
them
didn't
to
complain
like
at all. I had fun with it. I was like, okay,
attach a
I get it.
PDF
I know
file
what
to
this
their
game
email, and they're
is.
like, huh?
So going into it, knowing what to expect, I had a good time with it. I really
Yeah,
did.
I mean, you know,
And the
I mean, I
viewing
get
audience
like,
was like,
I don't know,
this
I
looks
don't,
like
I
a
don't
game
really
that's
have to
been
do
fun
that
to
too
play, but
often. You
not
know,
to
do like,
watch.
you
And
know,
I was
attach
like,
this
well,
to this
yeah,
because
it's not
you know.
Call of Duty. Call of
Yeah.
Duty is a game. There's tons going on.
But
There's
anyways.
explosions. There's People going gung ho, kill streaks, crazy stuff. That's
Call
not
of Duty. Yeah, he's describing like Call of Duty ever since
It,
like.
it was
not
really,
God
really
4.
quick, but he just did like the
So overall, I had a
double-fisted
good
like
time.
hand motion.
The viewing audience-
It
Yeah,
looked like
I did see that. Yeah.
Okay. The second game we played was
oh
Kingdom
man,
Come
someone should make that a
Deliverance
GIF.
2. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, and you put like the
the
Joy
footage
Cons in there. It'd be like the soy boy
Okay, I'm gonna upload it tonight.
thing. You know.
You judge for
New
yourself.
soy jack
I gave this
drop.
game an honest shot. An honest
Yep.
shot. 2 hours I played this game. We barely got out of the
I like how I realize we like
Nothing
mostly
going
like
on.
talked over like
It's
whatever
like
we watch over.
boring
Yeah.
cutscene,
We're
boring
watching.
cutscene, boring
Um,
cutscene, meaningless dialogue
and,
choice that doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
Boring cutscene, boring cutscene. Like, oh my
Boring
god.
cutscene, and I'm like,
All
I'm
right,
trying to
so-
figure out like what the context of like what he's talking about now that we're like,
Lie in the
you know,
first
that
2
we like
hours.
went on that all
Here's
these
the
like
gameplay elements.
these
A tutorial
conversational
fight
side
that
quests.
doesn't matter 'cause you
Well,
don't fight
even
the
not
game
knowing
for
what he's
2
talking about.
hours.
All right, Phil, if the cutscene's bothering you, skip
A
it.
gambling game that doesn't matter 'cause you
Wow,
gamble again
I don't
for
know
the
if you
first
can
2
really
hours.
skip them in Call of Duty
And then a
just because it's like all
segment,
first person.
and then
Yeah. Oh,
another
yeah,
At least-
segment.
At least of the ones I play,
That's
I
it.
don't know.
I'm not
I
kidding.
mean, there's like some. I
That's
mean,
2
Black
hours
Ops
for
2,
the
there's like
intro
some that like go
of Kingdom
third
Come
person, but
Deliverance
usually
2.
does like the
That was
endings.
one of genuinely
Because Black Ops 2 is like
one of
actually
the
one of the few
worst
games
openings
where
to
the
a video
campaign
game
actually has
I
multiple
ever
endings.
experienced
Oh, okay.
in my life.
I don't,
Now, everyone
I don't really
It's not like-
play any of them.
It's not-
so yeah, I have
It's
no
not
idea.
really
The
any.
first
It's
one.
not like that
I
big of a
didn't
deal.
think the
It's
first one was good.
it's one
I
of
don't
those
think
things
the
you get like.
second one will resonate. That's
Yeah.
why I'm
Basically, if you want to get
And
the
I
best
kept telling
ending, you have
people
to
for 3
save this
months,
like
I don't want to play it. People
this girl boss
rally,
hacker
"We gotta
lady
play it for
looking
the viewer's choice, do it."
and like
I
this
spent
one
the money, I bought
it is
the
one
game.
like type of mission I
Okay?
think was basically made for the
I
Wii
give it
U.
an honest shot.
Oh,
Giving my
okay.
honest
It's like-
opinion.
is
Telling
I
you
mean I was
why
playing the
I
360
feel that way
version
while I
obviously, but
played it, all right?
like
By
you
the end of
basically
the 2
save her,
hours,
don't
we're
kill
still
the
just
main
an
bad
intro
guy at the
segment in
end.
some woman's hut,
And then it doesn't like
gathering
cause like a big giant
chamomile and other
Occupy
herbs
Wall
off the
Street
ground.
Wow.
esque
We
like
were
riot
both
because
Yeah.
that was like that was like
And I said
the
to everyone, guys,
riot back
maybe
then,
you like
you
this
know.
game because
Yeah.
someone told you what it is. Someone told you that if you keep playing, you get to a good part. Guys, I played for 2 hours during the marathon. What do you want me to do? It's boring as dirt.
Oh, get to the
Okay.
good
Guys,
part.
guys, I
Well,
played for 2 hours. What do you want me to do?
It was
It's not like it's my
a
job.
combination of
It's not like it's my
trolls
entire day.
and people who are ultra
Unless
The
he,
stream
unless he
games.
maybe
rallying to
if
tell
he's
me
playing
how
like the
wrong
PC
I
version,
was,
maybe
I'm
he's
an
thinking of
awful
like the
person,
Steam
an
refund
awful
window,
gamer.
maybe
And you know
Oh,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking had enough of this shit.
that
Okay?
you know. I mean, I know
If
there
you
was.
are
Is
ever
Phil
seen,
even
like,
smart enough to do that though?
That someone out there doesn't like a game that you like.
one
okay?
truly has to wonder.
I'm sorry to say you're
Have
immature.
you ever seen like those like speed runs where
Because the thing is,
that
I
one
like
guy plays
games I
like
don't like
RE3
games, right?
remake and he
And I
like
tell you my opinion.
platinum the game
And
in
you
like
know I
under
don't
2
sugarcoat
hours?
Anything. I'm very honest, but I tell you these things.
Sorry, sorry, I just zoned out for a second there. What?
I'm not
I
gonna
was gonna say,
defend you for
have you seen
telling
that
me
one
you
speed
actually
run
like
where the
something
guy
you
played
don't
the
like?
Resident Evil 3 remake and like
vice versa.
platinumed the
Like,
whole
I
thing on like
hated
the
this
hardest
Assassin's Creed
difficulty
chat. I
and
played it for
like
9
he got
hours.
all
I
the
can't play this
achievements
anymore. I'm dropping
in
it.
under 2 hours?
Oh yeah,
Go
yeah.
to my streams and be like, "Oh, I like
Refunds
it.
it.
I'm gonna keep playing it." I'm like, okay,
Yep.
fine. Whatever floats
And I
your
like
boat.
how he literally
know,
asked like
You
Steam
could literally watch
like
me
support
play
like,
this
hey,
game
if
for
you can
2
do it in under
hours.
2 hours, we'll do it. You
I
know,
was getting
we'll
bored. I was
refund it.
gone.
Yeah.
Too many cutscenes. Too
Yeah, and I saw
slow,
I saw a bunch of
nothing
people do that with
no
Sonic
gameplay.
Forces too, just because of
Where
how
is the game in
short
this
it is.
game? It's not letting me play.
Oh really?
Yeah,
If
you
you know what
like.
you're
Very
doing.
But you don't even have to know what you're doing.
Okay?
You could for the
So,
first time, because the first time I
you
played
can
it
judge
on
for
like hard
yourself,
mode,
But ultimately,
and
I think that was a huge
yeah,
fail. I
it,
should have only
it took
played
me a
an
little
hour,
over 2 hours because I
because people would
spent
have complained you didn't
a
give it
long
enough
time in the
time.
character creator.
So I
But
literally gave it over 2 hours on the
you
stream.
could, you don't even have to know
wait,
what you're
no.
doing.
Oh wait, no,
Do you know
no,
what that
Sonic.
tells me?
I was getting it mixed up with Frontiers.
Oh yeah, no, Frontiers
Because they
is
both-
too damn long for its own good.
I was gonna say that'd be impressive if you can beat it in 2 hours, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think I get it mixed up because they both, you know, their
Yeah.
subtitles both begin with F. You know?
Yeah, and they're
I'm always
back-to-back
like,
games too. So
I'm like abbreviating it in my head
Well,
because
guess what?
people be like, oh,
I don't
SA1,
like this
SA2, SA3,
yeah.
and then they have that one guy be, in the Discord be like, why are we talking about sexual assault? You know?
Didn't fit the format of the marathon. Don't know why people nominated it. Played it for over
Freaking
2 hours, gave
I
it a
remember
chance.
like
Awful waste of
I don't know where it
everybody's
was.
time.
I heard it, but I heard someone
What do you
mention
want me
like
to
Black
do?
Ops 6
Lie?
on some video I was
Say I loved
watching
it, kiss
a couple
your
of weeks
butt.
ago, and I was
Sorry,
like,
it's not a good game
there was a
in my
Black
opinion.
Ops
It's
5?
ass. this. Like, what do you want me to do? So
I mean, the last one I heard about was like Black Ops 4, and
Yeah.
there's like what,
I
like
don't know what else to do.
Cold
I'm
War,
not
I
gonna be
think.
fake.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
the problem is there's
But it
like
actually pissed
3 different
people off.
developers right now for Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
We had people who had
There's like
previously
Infinity Ward,
really supported
Sledgehammer,
my streams and my
and
previous
Treyarch.
marathons.
And I'm impressed with myself that I even remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I played Call of Duty that I even remember the devs.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, who's the third?
Yeah, I was like, yes,
Fuck you.
Sledgehammer is the one who made like
You're
Advanced
stupid.
Warfare.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the one with
I always forget about them.
Selfish.
Yeah, I mean
biased
they're
individuals
third
who
wheel
don't
for a reason,
understand
and people don't
that not
did not
everyone
like that game,
has
even
to
though I
like
kind of like
everything you like.
I like the
But if
idea
that
of what they
means
were trying to
you
go
don't come
for, but
back,
you know,
Yeah.
tough shit.
And from what I see right now, like I thought like the focus was the Warzone mode. Because like
Well,
whenever I
that
see
seems to
that,
be-
it looks more and more like Fortnite every time.
Assholes on my stream today.
well, that seems to be just
Outright
like
insulting me just because I didn't
what
like
is the
game.
first?
No
Okay,
one actually
was
made
it
a valid
PUBG
point
or was it
of
Fortnite
why
that was
I
first?
wrong.
It was
They just said
PUBG.
things
Fortnite.
like, "Oh,
I think
you're a
Fortnite
horrible
was out, but
gamer,
it was
you're a horrible
it was a
gamer,
completely different
you're
game.
It
It was like a
nothing
4-player
legit, and it
co-op
actually
like story mode
worked me
thing.
the wrong way. If you can't
Yeah, and
tell,
that was the thing.
I
I
talk
was
about this a
whenever
lot.
I first heard about
It actually
Fortnite, it was like,
pissed me
oh, this is like a.
I mean, I don't know what
I
else
think
to
my
say.
initial impression was
I'm
I
not
heard
gonna
it was like a
change who I am. I've been a content
cartoony
creator now
co-op thing where you build
for almost
forts
18
and you
years.
fight against
I'm not gonna
monsters. And I
change
was
who I
like,
am.
Yeah,
oh, so it's
it was
not like-
originally
Game
called
that I don't.
Fortnite Save the
Okay.
World.
yeah, that's like the single player campaign, which I understand. I think is still a
So,
thing.
after
But,
that
like no one cares
debacle,
about it anymore.
Yeah.
some food.
It's like the least
For those
played
who don't
mode
know,
in
you
all
probably
of
didn't see it
Fortnite.
yet, there was a Pokeball
And
a
yeah, Karma showed me
spicy
something from
salmon
the other day,
flatbread,
and
some Hawaiian
I don't know if you've ever
food,
seen
and
Roblox, but
I hope
like
you'll watch Feasting
the
with
I've
the
kind of
Frontiers
seen
that
it a
we
little
Yeah.
bit. I
have.
think
The one
I
video
think
The
I've
Fort-
maybe you've seen
I'm
my
uploading to that channel.
nephews play
The
it
next
on
game
like
that we played
um,
was American
my
Trucking
dad's laptop.
Simulator.
Anyway,
Okay.
Played it for about
Yeah, so
45
you've seen
minutes.
how like the
It was
menus
pretty
are, right?
fun.
How it's like
chill.
it's like a
It
web
obviously
page with a
doesn't have
bunch of
amazing
different
graphics, but it
games and
seemed
modes and
fun.
stuff.
I played the very
I don't think
basic
I've seen
version
the
of it
website. I think
without
I
all
just
the
saw like
nuances
they were
of
doing
actually
some like
starting
first
the truck,
person
and
shooter
I was
mode.
obviously
Okay.
hamming it up
Well,
with
it
the
basically
chat,
looks like
drinking a White Claw,
like how Newgrounds
distracting
used to look
myself
back in the
from
day,
something, try to make
like
it
how there's
entertaining.
just like a bunch
People
of
seem
flash
to like
games
that, and some
on the
people really
homepage or
like when you
whatever.
bring it back, and I'm like,
Like
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah, when you log in, it's like it's basically like a menu, and it just has like all the different games Roblox that people made within Roblox. So that's
Yeah.
how Fortnite looks now.
Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. We played that for about
Interesting.
90 minutes, okay?
Maybe they
Great
got
game.
like hired someone from
Loved it 'cause I had
Newgrounds
played this
from
on
back in the day.
Back in the day. I'd always said
I
wanted
think
to
it's
play it again.
just that
It got remade for Switch a
like,
year or two ago. I didn't play
they were like,
it.
oh, what else
We
is
finally played it
popular?
today. Great
Roblox.
game.
All right, let's do
My only
that.
complaint, I wish it was 60 frames per second.
And I
I don't
guess,
know why
Because
Or the-
that was pretty much the
That's
rationale
ridiculous.
behind
They could've definitely
doing
made this
the
run
battle
60.
royale thing.
That's
Like,
lazy.
oh, everyone
Aside
likes
the fact
PUBG. Let's do
The
that.
game has great, great gameplay mechanics,
I
great
mean,
story.
all I
You know,
hear,
it
hear
runs
about
well.
PUBG now is like,
just a
oh, it
great
runs
game,
like
outstanding.
crap on
It's in the vein
like
of Super
anything.
Mario RPG,
Like I think the Xbox
and
One
Paper
port was
Mario's
like
kind of a hybrid.
terrible, was
I
like
love it, okay?
ran like
So I had a great time with it.
really
Guess what
bad
happened?
considering
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
it's always been like that.
Boring. Phil's enjoying a game? Oh, terrible. Awful game. Why
Yeah.
is Phil like
And
this
isn't
game?
it right?
Why
Like
couldn't he have
I've
liked
never
Kingdom
played any
Deliverance
of these
2?
battle
I'm not
royale
kidding you.
games. To me, they're like
These people stuck around.
battle royale
to
is like the Call of
sour
Duty of the
grapes on my
Zoomer
shit.
generation.
Oh, the
you
Yeah,
game you
know?
like, he
pretty
doesn't
much.
like, but he likes a different game.
Is it right
Ugh,
where
what
you
the hell
it's
is wrong
kind
with
of like search and destroy or like an elimination where
So,
you die
ultimately,
and then
here's
you're
the deal.
basically like
This
sit
marathon,
done
viewer's choice,
then you're basically just
right,
sitting there like in
was
spectator mode?
definitely
Yeah.
derailed and spoiled by people
That
who
would be
willingly tried
yeah,
to
that would be
derail and
like
spoil it.
instant like
They knew
because the
it
pro
had lost records.
see
It
I don't
wasn't
really like
going
those
to work, so
that
they
some
nominated it and
because
voted
it's
for
like
it,
I don't
and
have any
trolling
input really
fucking,
other than like if I'm
people off
I
Discord
mean if I was
servers
hanging out
and
with
fake
friends that
accounts.
might be one thing
They
but
knew
you
Kingdom
know
Come Deliverance 2
Yeah.
had an insane
I haven't
long
played like
intro that doesn't even get to the main game.
of the first person
so they made
shooters
sure
I
that
might
that was
play
part
it
of the
might be
marathon.
Counter Strike and
They
I'm
even
probably
tried to
not
get this shitty classified
Counter-Strike
game,
is not a
and luckily I
casual
didn't
game.
bite
At
that
least
bait. Imagine
it
if
doesn't
I
seem like
played
it is
that too.
anymore.
Like this would have been one
Yeah.
of the worst
Oh,
marathons I've
I
ever
don't
done.
I haven't really kept up with it. I just know like Counter Strike 2 apparently like
ultimately, this
people don't like it for
marathon
the same reason
was
as
a
Overwatch
derailed
2
mess
because it like
because
you know
of the
jacked up the system
availability
requirements and
of
everything.
Yeah, I heard it went
Trolling,
from being like
or I
really
should
well
say,
optimized to
the
being
ability
like
of
garbage
to influence
optimization.
it and change it for the worse.
Yeah, and it's like we
This is
waited
why
like
when people say,
20
"Why don't you do
years
fan
for like
lobbies?
Source 2
Why
for
don't you do
this.
things
Yeah.
that have
Like took them 20 years to
interactive
get to
interaction?"
this, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think
every time
Valve
I
has
present
the
an
same
opportunity
engineers that they
for
did
this
back then.
interaction,
Oh
the
yeah,
trolls
no,
were
I'm
real.
sure there's
That's
like
what
even
they
though they're a
did.
private
They
company, I'm
knew the
sure
last several
they've given
marathons
in
that
to
I did
some
were very
DEI
successful.
hires and
They
whatnot.
saw how well I did
Yeah,
over
which is,
$1,000 the
which
past 2
should
marathons.
be kind of a
That's
cause
fucking
for
messed up.
alarm
And that's exactly
Yeah.
for
right.
anyone who's on PC
The
gaming,
next marathon
because
will not have any influence whatsoever
have to
from these
think
outside influences.
the
We're gonna talk
weight,
about it on the podcast as legit.
and I chose that word very perfectly,
Viewer to creator,
of
and we're gonna figure it out.
Valve and Steam and how everything works
Maybe we'll think of something else
is literally
between
being
now and the
carried
next one.
by
But I feel like we
Gabe
should have done a
Newell.
different
Yeah.
idea that we already had
The
talked
guy
about.
who,
Would have done much better.
I know
But,
some
you
people,
I'm
people,
stupid and
I don't know.
people interact
People will be like,
and
you
influence
know,
my
base
content,
Japan, base
and
this
it's
guy,
real
base that
shit.
guy.
So shame on me
And it's like, the thing
for
is,
being
he's
gullible
not,
to this, right?
I mean, if
Anyway,
he's
what I would
donated,
say is
I don't
out
know
of
if you
today's
heard
marathon,
about it, but like,
definitely I would
I think
consider
that he posted something
American
like
Trucker
about his record,
Simulator,
like
and I would consider
donations and stuff. And
also
he donated to like
Super
Brandon
Mario and the
in
Thousand Year
2020.
Door as future playthroughs. I don't
Oh,
think anyone gives two
yeah,
fucks
I actually
about
didn't hear that.
Kingdom Come
That's
Deliverance 2.
that's
The
depressing.
game just seems like this
I mean,
stupid
I'm
open-world
not really that
Maybe
surprised by
you
it because
guide or you know, a bunch of
California,
fucking
Silicon
fanboys
Valley,
come
that's
together
kind of
and
how,
figure out how the game is
that's
good.
kind of how a lot of
Sorry,
those
I played
people
over 2
are,
hours. I
you know.
wasn't
But
impressed
even then, like,
whatsoever. I thought that it was incredibly boring.
the fact of the matter is, all the
And
stuff
as
you
for
rent,
Counter-Strike
because you
2,
don't really
again, it's
buy
a game
and
that I
own
know I
on
would like, but
Steam,
I don't know if
Yeah.
it translates well to an audience. All right.
is
I would definitely
ultimately,
like everyone's
like,
feedback on this. And
once
I mean
he's
it. I'm
gone,
gonna upload gameplay. I want you to leave
who
comments
knows
on
what
the gameplay and let me know
Valve's
what you
gonna
think.
turn into. I know
And that
there's like
doesn't
some
mean to
people who
say,
say like, oh, he's
I
gonna
like
like
the
let
game,
his
but
like
don't see where it
sons,
loser.
like
I
his
want to
one
hear
of his sons
why
like
something's
inherit
good
it
or
or
bad.
something.
I want to
Yeah.
hear why
But
you think it works for
I
an
mean,
audience or
who's
it
to say the
doesn't.
son is like
Why
that
is this game worth
that
my
passionate
time?
about
Yeah,
software
if they
development
give a shit
or
at all.
anything?
I want to hear.
I mean, for all we know, you could
actual
just. I mean, it could be like
influential,
Shigeru Miyamoto. He has a son that is into like surfboarding. You know,
Oh, wow.
criticism.
that's a
Stupid,
like
dumb
random
shit
thing
from the
I
mouths of
thought like,
idiots.
well,
Okay, which is sadly.
he's sure he's got the money to like get all the lessons and everything. You know.
Yeah. I guess part of me always assumed that Steam was a private company because Gabe was kind of aware of like all the bullshit that comes with being public, and you know he was
Yeah,
aware of like all the DEI and BlackRock shit there is. But
Well, yeah, but at some point, eventually, you have to grow. You have to grow, and you know. I mean, people will be like, "Oh, why don't they make?" You know, some people might be like, "Oh man, I wish they would make a Half-Life 3." And it's like, well, they have no reason to because they're literally the. Yes, there's Epic. Yes, there's EA. Yes, there's whatever Ubisoft is doing nowadays.
Yeah.
But who else has every game all under one platform? They have a console that's specifically optimized to play those games, even for people like to such an extent that people treat it like a console, even though which you can do. But obviously, it's just the fact that if you want to do any like emulation stuff, you don't have to do any like stupid like trickery to like get it to work.
yeah,
Like on like a Switch where you have the bridge, Joy-Con pins and stuff.
I'm so far past that crap.
So
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
it's
I'm happy that I'm
Valve
not
has
using
like a
fanboy
lot of stuff that
communities
the other
have to be
people don't.
inundated with either
The only thing you
loving
can
or
really say
hating
is like,
something.
oh,
I
it's
mean,
it
same
doesn't
thing with
support
Sons
like
of
some.
South of Midnight,
It doesn't
where
support
was
Dead by
made by
Daylight because
Private
it
was
doesn't
enjoying
support
for
like
the first
anti-cheat.
session,
And I'm
and
like,
everyone shat on
you
me
know,
for liking it.
yeah.
How dare you? Don't
I
you
bought
know
that
the
game. I
internet
played it like
collectively hates South of Midnight?
maybe
Most of the
3
games that
times at
require
most.
anti-cheat, you're not
Because
missing
I'm
out
not a
much.
fucking robot
Yeah,
that's getting
yeah, I know.
what
It's
I'm
like
told. I'm not programmed. I'm
it's
not
like
a cog in a
oh
machine.
I'm so
I think for
I'm so
myself.
sad that I
Well,
can't play this
everyone
one game that had like a big
Kingdom Come Deliverance
gigantic
2.
grind
How
to
dare you
like
not like it?
Yeah.
unlock
Well, because
abilities
I'm
on
not cheap.
everyone.
I have a
Um,
brain, and I think for
And that's
myself.
not to say that the crossover of the game
Sorry.
is bad. I mean, it's if you're a big
If you come to
horror
my content, it's
fan, I
always gonna
mean,
be like that.
they got everything.
I
Like
think tomorrow,
even like
when you go
Resident
back to my
Evil,
streams, they're gonna-
Yeah.
like
who
Silent
know
Hill.
me,
It's like
like
that's like
me,
the
and are
most
okay
you'll
with that,
that's like the
are
best
gonna be
treatment
like,
Silent Hill has
"This is
gotten
fine.
until like
Good to have
wow,
you back. Let's have
what they're
another
trying to do
awesome
now,
day."
and even then
But
it's kind of
then-
like,
Yeah. And even like I play stuff. I mean, I don't play Genshin anymore, but I used to play Genshin, and I play other games like that, and those all have their own anti-cheat. And I don't really know if any of them are compatible with the Steam Deck, but if they're not,
Tomorrow,
like I still don't feel like I'm missing out because those games are like over 100 gigs each, and the PC versions are always like garbage optimized. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to waste space on my Steam Deck for that.
and you have to be like, okay, I have to actually play this game on the regular enough for it to be worth taking up that much space,
Yeah.
or have it like set up like even like with like with how Mortal Kombat is nowadays, with 11 and 12.
And we have
like the only reason those
streaming
take up
day.
any space on a
Alright?
on any
Alright, guys, I got a lot
PC
of uploading to do.
is
I gotta rest my voice. As you
they're
can
on a
see, I've
separate
been using voice
computer
all day.
that's basically set up for like the idea is I would set up take it to like someone's house and play it there. You know,
Yeah.
gameplay content.
because at the very least those are games that you can like play locally. Like the one thing about fighting games is at the very least you'll always have local multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know, at least tournament fighters. I mean, there's a what is it like Anarchy Reigns, which is like the sequel to Mad World, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
like it's like a Power Stone like or something, but I think it's like third person Gears of War camera. I've not played it much.
We are in the midst of a.
I know you haven't really talked a whole lot about Rekieta, and I know it's like in the stream title.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I could pull that one up next. I was just looking to
We
see
are
if
in the midst
DSP
of
was
a
still
game-
alive.
Let's have
Oh,
a
okay.
look at
Let's see.
I like
Yeah.
how I like how Watch Party, by the way, does the same. It gives you like the video recommendations.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the last time I used it, it didn't do that, so that must be a newer feature. It's pretty
this is
good.
way worse than I even thought it was. This is
I texted Ashton. I'm like, Ashton. I went
So
Actually, no. But before we watch this one, there's another one. I just want to play it for you, and I want you to tell me if you think anything is going on.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna say he's definitely not broke his probation already.
I mean, I feel like if his PO officer was paying enough attention, he would already be in jail. But
Yeah, as opposed to like the slap on the wrist.
yeah.
But is its jail sentence even started?
No, so it starts in August, and well, if he doesn't get caught now, next month he's going to Vegas for something with another streamer. So like, if his PO officer is not on top of that, because there's no way he's gonna be sober at that thing, and part of his
yeah.
terms is you must be 100% sober, 24/7.
You're walking on that good old straight and narrow,
Yeah.
and he's not gonna be doing that while gambling and doing who knows what else at good old Vegas.
Yeah.
But as they say, what
Why
you
did
go
my voice change
goes in
so
Vegas
often?
stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right,
So-
so I want you to take a listen to this and tell me if anything seems
Why does my voice
strange.
change so much so often? Well, because when you're gone from streaming for a year, and you go from talking every day and hearing yourself talk every day to not, your voice actually changes, and the way you talk changes, and it's hard to recognize, like normally, how you kind of are influenced by what you're talking about and how you hear yourself. But I noticed that after a year, like I sound way different to me in a lot of ways, and part of it's because of what I went through, put myself through. I don't know, you know, everybody jumps on everything I say now. That's another part of it is everybody jumps on everything that I say. So there may be like hesitations and sentences and stuff like that that occur. But part of the reason my voice will change quite a bit is because I'll notice it. I'll notice it drift, and I'll have.
Okay, there was another clip. I don't remember what it was, but there's another clip where it's a lot more obvious. He's clearly trying to like keep it under control here, but
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what my general
This is way
observation.
worse
By the way,
than
I
I
said
thought.
oh for a second because it gave you like a thing like reconnecting.
oh
I
okay.
went through the whole
Is it
I was
playing for
just
you now?
like, Ash, I have to make
Yeah,
this
it's playing fine.
plus.
It was just for
Why are you
a
trying to
quick
have sex
second.
with
It
my
like
wife?
had like
Rekieta.
anyways. It
Okay.
was just
He's
probably
crashing
something
out ahead of
you need to
schedule.
watch party.
He can't deal
Yeah.
with streaming, man.
But yeah,
the
it was clear he
guy's
was, like,
brain is just totally
He's on
fucking
something.
cooked.
He's probably
He's
on
so
something.
bored
He's probably been on
doing
something
these
like
legal
ever since he
streams.
started
You can
like this whole
tell
downward
his
spiral.
heart's
Oh
not
yeah,
in
for
it.
sure.
His brain's
Like,
not in it. He just
the other
wants
clip
to
I
go
saw, he
back
was
to
like,
that
he was like
sweet-
commenting over whatever trial he was watching, and his voice is going like up and down, like, "Oh hey, that lawyer is not doing a good job." Like he sounds like that the whole time.
And he's
Like he's
forced
like
to
some
do
drunk
streams
cowboy or
because he
something.
has to show his PO that he's working. He
Like,
wishes so
bro,
badly he
what is
didn't
it?
have
What
to
is
do
this?
them.
The good, the bad, the
Already
ugly.
the support has completely fallen
Yeah,
off.
so that's what people are asking
Rekieta
about, and
right
he's like,
now,
well, you know, your
using
voice
Super
changes
Chats,
when you
is
stream, and then
earning
you don't stream,
approximately
and then you stream again. It's like,
$4.50
okay, Rekieta,
per
I guess you're the
hour
only live streamer
on
who's ever
YouTube
live
Super
streamed
Chats.
ever.
He's making
Whose
about
voice changes
less
like
than half
for
of minimum
whenever he's having to
wage
go over a bunch of stuff
in the state
Yeah.
of Minnesota.
that may or may not be very controversial.
Brutal,
Yeah.
So one thing I want to bring up real quick.
So what people are saying now is he's on what the kids call galaxy gas, which I guess doesn't show up in a drug test.
In my opinion,
Galaxy
he's 100%
gas.
whipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like literally,
This is
I
what I'll
think
say.
At least they picked an
Andy was
at least they
right
picked an
about him
alliterative
being on
name.
cocaine.
Yeah.
When
I guess.
even I kind of
Yeah.
doubted it. I just thought he was
So like
drunk
he's
and
feeling the
total
withdrawal so
alcoholic.
bad. He's like, oh,
Andy
I need
was
something.
right
I need
that the guy
something.
was
So he
on
gets like
cocaine.
whatever
Andy
can't be
is
picked
the
up
resident
in a drug
forensic
test.
expert
But if
of
his
this
if his
program.
PO is watching his streams,
Andy
it's
says
very
that he
obvious.
thinks that he's whipping
I mean,
it
I don't know if
on
Galaxy Gas is
Whip It
illegal or not,
Wednesday.
but
He's probably
it's very
gonna
obvious.
Whip It Wednesday.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
what?
and-
I'm
and
just
what, like, I've never
curious. I
tried
mean,
whippets before, but I used
unless
to
it's gonna
watch,
get us
remember,
like in
Steve-O, when he
trouble,
was,
like,
like,
can you
walking
say
that
like?
room doing
I'm assuming
whippets? I
Galaxy
remember
Gas
that, and
is
I've seen
a
videos
is
of
a
on whippets, right?
the street name for
And
something
I-
else.
I made
Yeah,
sure-
for nitrous
I made
oxide.
sure that I wasn't crazy.
Nitrous
so,
oxide,
people in the video
okay.
I edited,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
NO2
guys,
or N2O,
you
something like that,
believe
which
that
is
he-
like
am I crazy?
I don't really
Or
know
is
all that
this
much about it, but when I
drugs?
heard that, I was like,
Everyone.
isn't that the shit they
Right,
use in
so
Fast and
it was
Furious?
like, this guy is off his fucking
Well, I wouldn't
head.
know, but I mean, I did
Before
just
we
get
show
like
this
all 8 of
edit,
the
I
movies
think
on
what
at
really
a dollar
kills him
store
on this
for
is
something
the
else.
change in his voice. How it, like, you know,
I just
it's
plugged
the
that
change
into
in the tone of his voice,
Wikipedia.
and it
Yeah.
goes deep, and then it
And
goes
it's
high.
known as laughing
That's
gas.
what I think really buries
In other
him and
words-
shows
Oh,
that
okay.
he's clearly
He has
under the
with
influence
that
of something.
Joker picture poster in the background.
Yeah.
Perfect
Oh, yeah.
perfect picture for himself.
Only is it the voice,
You know,
but it's
for
not
what he's on.
traceable. As we
Yeah.
all know, during the whole Rekieta being, in trouble segment,
Yes.
the whole thing, there was the whole
I'm
discussion
gonna
about
fast
his
forward a
kids
bit
not
here to
Rekieta
on stream.
when they show him talking, I think. Oh yeah, he also like
See
he
where he's
goes he
camera
takes a
like
ton
this,
of
okay?
breaks during this
Now
stream,
off,
and he's like
on
away for most of
every
it.
time, and I have the edit here.
Oh.
Every time he comes back,
So
Kyle-
he's obviously doing
on
something.
Over 50 times, I counted.
Karen
After about
Reed
50
trial,
here,
huh?
Look
Yeah.
at how he acts when he's back on stream.
I have no
And
idea
the
about
whole
that case,
group
but I just know
of
like
is he
all
on
the
drugs or another
tubers. That's what
So
they're covering
now
right
I
now.
explained this to you guys. Are you ready
Oh,
for this
okay.
shit?
I was just like
Bro,
looking at the side. I'll
he's
be like,
gonna
okay, does it
fail
have anything
his
to do with him
probation.
personally, or is it just like
It's
random?
terrible.
You know.
Pretty-
No, I think that's just that's
I don't
the
know why he wouldn't
that's
just
the
go to
popular
jail with
trial
the
right now.
man so he could do drugs in there.
No.
Like just go to fucking jail. Like if you want to do drugs that bad, just go to fucking jail. Go to prison and suck for drugs in there. It's basically what you're doing anyway, you fucking freak. Reminder to everybody: next
I
week.
mean, he basically
he's
said,
in
yeah,
Las Vegas.
yeah, pretty much.
Next
Yeah.
weekend he's in Las Vegas with Melton.
Like
the
there's no way he
Hackney
can make
crew.
it to August
All
without
of
fucking
those
up.
guys
Like
are gonna be drinking,
and, like,
smoking
the other
weed
thing
at
is,
minimum. God
like
knows if
even
there's
if you
any
think like he
booger
should be
sugar in
allowed
that,
to leave
there
the state
probably will be
during his
other
probation,
illicit
like
substances.
he hasn't even
You know,
served
it's
his
not even a
30
question
days
of,
yet.
like,
At the
is
very
Rekieta
least, he
gonna
shouldn't be
have
allowed to leave the
willpower to
state
resist?
until he
He's
serves his
probably
30
not.
days.
But
Like
even beyond that, is
Which,
he
you know,
get
just for a
accidentally
reminder, he
exposed?
deserves a lot
Is
worse
somebody gonna,
than,
Yeah.
spike his
like, a
drink?
lot.
It's
A
nightmare.
lot.
this
I
is a
wish I-
slap on the
He's
wrist
gonna
that what he
fail.
got.
He's gonna fail his probation.
Yeah, like,
Now we don't have to watch
I would
the
say
full thing,
even,
but I
like,
really
this is
wanna
just
just
like
show
a
you
mere
guys
fly on
this.
his cheek.
Yeah.
You're on a group
In terms of, like, the
and
scale
you
of how
rotate
bad things
through a
are.
schedule.
Yeah, I mean he's back to streaming.
Set
He's
that
already
you
getting
work
high.
for.
He
So
doesn't
that's how it
like he
started.
clearly has no remorse for anything he's done.
You
Okay.
have one day off,
But
you work another 24. You
Like,
edit,
the only way I
and
can
rotation
see
begins
any of
again,
this,
so
the only logic I could
it's
think
just
of
a
is that there's
set
some
schedule,
some money
essentially.
under the table
Yes.
going on here.
Yeah.
Like, just in
How
general.
was the-
Not with this case, you know, that they're
for that shift,
watching
I
over,
was
but, like, you know,
on the engine,
with
that
Rekieta.
was the-
Yeah.
the back step, so there's an engine.
And again, we don't
driver,
know that, but you know
there's an
that
engine
that would be
driver,
one possible
and
explanation for why he's
Yeah,
getting
and
off so easy.
That's just a conspiracy theory. This is not, you know, legal.
Yeah, that's just our
This is not-
opinion.
This is just our opinion. We have
Yeah.
no facts
Bro,
backing it
doesn't
up.
sound right. There's something wrong. And look at his face.
I don't know what
like,
else to
zoom
say
in on
to cover our asses.
like, zoom in on him. Like,
You know?
he's got that
Yeah.
weird, like,
That is what it is.
cock head tilt that he would do when he was looking goofy on drugs.
That's a
Uh-huh.
profile picture there.
He's totally back on the sauce, man.
Like that could even be like a meme.
Yeah.
He's just a firefighter.
That's like a
Like a-
chat. That's like a chat emote.
We call that the backstab.
Yeah, like an advice animal.
Yeah.
Like
Can I
really.
get some Reketas in the chat?
Specific of general responsibility.
Okay, so that's one.
Yes.
Spam that head.
He's back off camera.
Hog
After Ms.
chimps.
McCabe interjected and the defendant made
Racket
Do
champs.
you hear that too? I don't know if it's just me.
You
Maybe it's
hear
me.
it's like heavy breathing
You
and
hear,
like blowing and
Yes. Okay.
bring it back. Like
It's
bring
not
it
just
back.
me,
Let's
it's not
do it
just
Yeah,
again.
so they go over that. I think
You,
the
hear
breathing
that
they're
too.
hearing is just from the actual court feed.
Okay.
'Cause-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because those microphones always
Woman
kind of
was very
suck, anyways.
upset. I didn't feel
Oh, really?
comfortable
Yeah.
pushing and asking
They always
I've
sound
not-
like
I've not-
I just
super
didn't think
distorted
that it
and
was the
He's
right
like
he's
high gain.
looking all
Time for
around the
that.
room.
I mean, I would
with
think
the
like maybe like
corner
earlier, like
humans
older
and the
cases, like
ceiling
like when you see like on
that
like
was
all the
his
like
own
these
weird
murder
mannerisms
shows,
when he was
where they're,
Yeah.
like showing the footage.
Oh, they're
you
even
know.
worse on that.
The fentanyl. I wouldn't.
Like I would
say
think nowadays they'd have their
Well,
act together, but I guess not.
This is quote unquote having their
Now
act
his
together.
chat is going, you've been off camera a bunch of times. Are you doing booger sugar? He says
He's
no.
slurring.
Now hear his response to this.
the right
You're not hearing that, by the way, right?
No,
The
Mickey, as
also
much
fan?
as I like
No.
Slash heater
cocaine
or
is
whatever.
expressed
No, I'm not
in
hearing
the
that.
state of Minnesota.
Whoa.
like
Okay,
that.
good.
Bro, he's
I have it on,
slurring
like, the
there and
lowest
he's
setting.
struggling to put the words together.
Yeah.
He's
And
still
then-
Yeah, did you hear
Cocaine.
Nick's voice just now?
So-
Oh, you like?
No, I was like
do you guys
kind of
do shit
distracted
like
trying to
Okay.
get this remote to work.
All right, yeah, I'll
Been off
rewind it
camera a
back a
bunch
bit.
of times.
You'll hear it again.
Are you doing booger
What I was
sugar?
talking about before.
He says
Okay.
no.
slurring.
Now hear his response to this.
the right
Interesting.
time for that.
No,
and it
Mickey,
was
as
also
much as I'd
really
like
not my
to,
place
cocaine is
at that
expressly
point,
prohibited by the
and
state
I
of Minnesota.
Whoa.
like that.
Bro, he's slurring there and he's struggling to put the words.
You see what I mean
Yeah.
about like his voice sounding like weird and like up and down, kind of.
Cocaine?
Yeah, like in a drunk way, not like
You're
not-
saying, like, do you guys
not
do
like
shit
me when I'm like
sent to your
I'm
PO?
in the middle of a point and I
Like,
kind of lose it because I'm
You're
like
gonna
trying to
get
like
30 days, aren't you, bro?
my brain
Yeah,
trying to go in
probably
like
not
multiple
gonna
different
be
directions
hard.
while also
You
trying to
can't
like
say stuff like you want
at least
to.
with what we're doing right now we're trying to
Well,
at
you're
least I'm
on
trying to like stay
probation,
kind of on
bro.
topic as
Yeah.
much or at least I try to
Oh,
anyways, you know.
man, have some self-control, and it's like, oh, he's just kidding. He's
Like
just
guys,
kidding.
don't you think that
Listen,
ESP is
I get
kind
that.
of
I
boring
get
right
being
now?
irreverent. I get joking about serious topics.
Like
But
how do you
some
like
things you should
cope that away? It's like, oh well,
Especially
I'm a live
if
streamer and our
you're-
voices change.
Clearly.
Like you're not fooling anyone.
Like when you think of like voices changing, I'm always thinking like was just like turning into like a I don't know, Insidious or like some like ghost or The Exorcist or like some other ghost movie where they get possessed and they like it turns into like that AVGN Super Mario Bros. Free when the one Super Mario cartridge is like you're probably sucking cock in hell,
I'm subject to ring.
I'm sure Nick is a good few weeks away from just going live and doing multiple drugs that make his voice sound like that.
Fun, but I can't do them anymore.
Yeah.
your
And you got to think,
Don't say
There's lots of other
that.
fun stuff.
doing that many
There's
drugs
other fun
on the
stuff.
regular,
I'll be fine.
I don't know how that's gonna.
Yeah.
With
Like,
their
I know-
kids in the house, by the way.
Yeah, well, no, I was also thinking like how much longer does his body got? Because
Yeah.
he's like 40 something, right?
Yeah, like 42 or 43 or something there.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on how his body reacts to stuff. I mean, the guy could like suddenly be screaming and you just like be convulsing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
A witness
And his
advocate.
I mean, like, I know it's kind of blurry here, but like, if you just look at any random clip of him in his live stream, he just looks so strung out, like so drugged out, and like he's looked like he's aged 10 years in the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you're like you got to look at yourself in the mirror. Like,
last time you thought this was the case.
Yeah.
people do not age that badly usually on like when they're 40.
Yeah.
And then it just
Usually.
blows up in his
Maybe
face and his
maybe if they
life
get like a
gets
crazy cancer
immeasurably
treatment, like I don't know if
Yeah.
you
It's just
I don't know if you saw like the one
when are you gonna learn?
or like the few pictures of like Iwata between the time he got like his first cancer treatment and before he unfortunately passed.
I didn't see anything outside of the directs, but I noticed he got like really skinny. Like,
Well, no, but
Over time.
there's like one. This is like around the time he did the like that puppet show
Yeah.
thing. We didn't like appear. There's like one. There's like a few pictures of him, and he looked like it was like whoa. He looks like he's like 50, 60, but people make the joke about like Kojima. He's like using nanomachines. He look young.
Yeah.
The guy looked like he was maybe like in his like
they're going to, man.
70s or something with like compared to like
This wasn't a joke.
in comparison of how he looked like at 50,
Troopers there at
in
the
his last
meeting.
By the way,
directs,
Yeah.
him coming back. I have removed.
That's kind of the comparison. I did see like in a video about it. I can't remember if it was like
And
the gaming historian or something else, where they like had the like
troopers there at
some like random pictures like
you're high for a minute.
like that brief period of
So
time before he
the
unfortunately
timing makes sense,
left
too.
us.
meetings.
Yeah.
What did you and Mr. Brenner discuss?
How to lie.
I know I probably missed a whole bunch of stuff while I was going on with that.
3.
Yeah. I mean, they were just saying the same thing basically, like
One
talking about how
was
much he
had
keeps leaving,
in
coming
maybe
back, and then his
January,
voice
was
being
just a
like,
meeting. One a few
You
weeks ago.
know, like not like dog or something, and like an old like animated like cartoon or movie.
Yeah.
It's obvious that he's been chemically altered in some way that's leading to this result. This isn't natural at all.
And to here, let me ask, dude.
Harass.
That hit me just as hard as you guys.
So there's like a harassment case after like a car accident or something, or
I actually, I'll look it up right now and see. Because I've been hearing it a ton the past few weeks, but I never actually.
My ear holes.
Oh,
Well,
it's a
I-
murder
this is-
trial. Okay.
oh, okay, yeah, because this is like
It was girthy.
this is like a realm I don't
And
dabble
violent.
in.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I don't keep up with like what's going on
Yeah.
unless it's like unless it happens to cross over into like some of the stuff I'm interested, like obsessed about.
Yeah. So it's a murder case. She might have hooked up with an ATF agent.
I didn't know,
Ooh.
but I am aware now.
Converge.
I mean, it's also not like the previous stuff. Like Nick covered, like he covered Johnny Depp and he covered Kyle Rittenhouse, and like
Yeah.
there's a reason to care about those. I don't particularly care to find out about this because it doesn't seem like anything
Buddy.
Well,
importantly
I-
like political or
Just
anything like that.
gesticulating.
Well, I did see something about McCabe. Oh, Miss McCabe. Okay, I was thinking like the one FBI agent, McCabe.
Calm down, you're hysterical, Karen.
She was trying to get her to stop and calm down.
What's up with the
She was making.
doing dance moves? Like,
Trying to
I'm
get
definitely not on
disco
drugs,
guy.
you guys.
Right, Karen,
totally not on drugs while at the disco club, guys.
Wackier faces
That
than Jim
170s
Carrey
throwback
crack.
disco club.
He's lost his mind.
That's
He's cooked.
crazy,
He's
eh?
cooked. He's cooked.
So we got John. What's his name? Good Logic or.
Okay, is this one of the guys that he?
This is one of his few sweepers that Nick has left.
For a while now,
And-
right?
Well, I was gonna say.
Now,
Oh,
we're
okay.
in the middle of
I wasn't sure if
court
this is like the
case.
one guy that he was
By the way, do you know what the court
swinging.
case is
Oh
about?
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, who knows? Maybe, but
Shit about the Reed trial. This is the
Because
second time they've done it.
because that was like
Yeah.
so
We're in the
many.
middle of this retrial.
Imagine coming into
Now,
that like you only know about
Jada is
Rekieta.
gonna start talking
This is like my
something
perspective,
very
guys.
interesting
All this
during
stuff starts happening, and Immortalix, he starts telling me about this, and it's like all these names. They're like, Rekieta, this Racket, this guy that he's
seems to be outraged that he's
screwing his wife, and
responding,
the guy is
not
screwing
thinking that he's
Rekieta's
not
wife.
doing
There's
something.
whatever's going on. There's like on like so many drugs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who? I feel like it's like you're going into like a movie or like a TV series, and you're just like you get just thrown into the thick of it.
yeah, it's not really important to know who this guy is. He's another lawyer. He used to be like like a 2 subscriber channel, and then Nick had him on, and he got a boost from that. So
To the moon,
yeah, so now he feels like he's eternally indebted to Nick. So regardless of what happened, because like people bring it up on his streams when like it's just him alone, and his defense is always like, oh well, I wouldn't have this career if it wasn't for Nick. So I got to defend him.
Yeah, it's like, well, just think how much respect you'd get if you like stood your ground and say, hey, you know what? I'm glad I got that.
Yeah. If you really cared about Nick, you would be like, hey Nick, don't do drugs around your kids. Don't swing.
Looks like a drug fiend.
Yeah.
He looks like somebody.
But
that you'd be worried would
I mean,
stab you with a
the
needle
problem
right
is, I think
now.
even he's probably
You know what I
aware.
mean?
Man,
I didn't hear. I'm not.
Yeah, I think everybody.
I'm kind of talking over like whatever
okay.
Kino's saying.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming I don't know what that Claire was necessarily saying, but I'm gonna take a guess that even he's like, yeah, I'm just
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can see he's like getting uncomfortable with.
like he knows he's like in too deep, but he can't like pull out.
Yeah.
And when Rekieta went off camera one time, Joe just left with no goodbye or anything.
No.
Then Rekieta came back. He's like, Joe's
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just,
Good timing on that.
Helium voice.
Just jumps out of the helicopter, I guess.
Yeah.
No one-liner.
Yeah.
Some sort of
But he
sexual
still comes
activity
on
that
whenever
he
Nick
was
asks him
looking
to, and he still
investigate.
sweeps it up
That's definitely
for him.
the nature of her yelling.
He's like,
Whatever-
well,
whatever
what Nick does in his private, that's none of my business, you know.
Whatever gets us
Whatever
pays the bills.
Yeah.
Swinger parties like this.
It's like at the point where like
Nobody
you'd probably make more money
swinger parties
if you just
online,
condemned Nick,
But the
and
Baldo Pope does.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I mean that's
I'm gonna go with the
even-
other law tubers who are not scumbags.
That's funny.
even the law tubers who were initially like skeptical and like defending him once certain stuff came out. They're like, okay, he's indefensible now.
Yeah. Like a lot of people were like on the fence for a while, but then like when the thing about like your kids testing positive comes out, it's like, all right, that's you
Yeah,
can't
just-
defend that.
Yeah, we have now there's a lot more questions and yeah.
around each other and seem
And I mean,
close, and they do.
unfortunately, I mean,
Not that not that being.
I don't know.
human
It's
being,
fortunate, or
please,
unfortunate, but
likes
like
to
because of like
that
all the
they're
stuff like
all
cancel
splitting the
culture,
cannons or anything like
you have
that.
to be a lot more skeptical.
Yeah, for sure.
But still, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like when like there's a difference between like, oh, this person had some racist tweets back in the day versus, all right, the forensic reports came out and we found cocaine in your children.
You
Like,
get the impression that these are.
Yeah,
this is-
yeah.
Is that a sticker?
so like and I've seen some people be like, oh, I'm not cancel culture, so I'm not gonna turn on Nick. But it's like, it's not cancel culture to like disassociate yourself with a felon, you know? Like,
Yeah, with someone who's going to build like
He's holding the broom and
something
he's looking at it
very
with
reprehensible
He's looking at
by
it
his
with
kid's room.
intentions
Yeah.
to snap that fucking twig and be free.
If you don't,
if
I'm
you don't know what
sparing
he's
the-
talking about, it's probably better if you don't.
Yeah, I'm sparing the details for everyone involved who's still listening. You know.
Yeah.
And the fucking ball gag chain of shame, buddy. Stop sweeping
And let's just say
past
Kino's
the
doing the
broom
speaking
and
for us.
broom.
Or
Good
is
timing
that
again,
I'm trying to think like the guy in the bottom is Kino, right? The other guy is or no, PPP, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the fat guy's PPP, and that's Andy Worski on top.
There's a
Okay,
weird
okay.
hesitancy on
Yeah, I'm trying
anybody
to
talking
remember
about
the name.
things
And like
inside the house.
Kino sounds like a pretty
And
simple
then
name, but you know.
now you
Yeah.
have
Using his own situation.
This is the definition of projection. He's taking his own weird sex dungeon. Bro, did he ever complete the sex dungeon?
Like listen to what's the stuff that they're talking about, and like just remember this guy only got 30 days in prison.
30 days, and he
It's
got
like
2
it's-
days knocked off for the days he served when he was originally arrested, which is even more bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. Like, I mean, I know that people talk like stuff like O.J. Simpson and stuff, and like all our justice system's kind of just a hot mess,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Karen Reed screaming at this guy.
Saying nothing about like what all the stuff that they did
And
with
she said that he
Prom,
was kind of
you know,
she had
Yeah.
like the
been
big
with a
like
whole bunch
mug
of women
shot,
in the neighborhood, or I don't know.
you know,
if she
when
said
that
in
happened.
the interview or one
Yeah.
of the other women. So that basically,
and like
yeah,
everyone
John
else
was
like
kind of a
who's like
dog,
basically like on his
he had
side.
sex to several of these people, and so then you go, okay, so I don't know if
Oh,
this is like a recurring.
Janny's face is fucking priceless, bro, during this whole thing.
It looks like he's got like either multiple
Party or
windows
anything.
or
Is it one of those
or,
nights
you know,
where everybody
screens.
gets together and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, like, should we do this? And he,
Oh my god!
Oh,
Listen,
So this guy, I did like watch a couple of his streams like years ago, like when he was first back when Nick wasn't a full-on
out
degenerate.
there with his
And like
girlfriend
I don't know if it's the
going,
same now,
"Am I
but
gonna
like
fly solo at this party, or you
back
coming
then
with
he
me?"
would
Right?
stream like
That's
in his
the-
bedroom,
I think
like right next to his bed, like as his wife was sleeping.
Eyebrows.
Oh, the Underlogic guy, or
Yeah.
Shit right there.
Oh, wow.
It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Crouch eyebrows.
That
just
he's either
popped right
very
up.
good at not keep waking her up, or
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would not,
I would imagine not much has
that's an
changed because his
awfully-
background looks exactly the same.
that's an awfully intimate place to pick to stream.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
0.2 speed.
Okay,
Oh,
this is gonna be a tough.
That's not Bronca. That's right. This is fucking a different guy.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's-
this is
am I-
Joe.
Bronca left hand. Honestly, all of these LawTuber Janny bums are pretty interchangeable to me, other than Sean because he's fat. Pretty much all of them.
Fly solo at this party, or you coming with me, right?
This is like him on like peak like drunk mode.
This is what Nick sounds like to sober people.
And then they get the music,
Yeah.
the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. You could see him being like, "What am I doing with my life?"
Like this is I just came up with the perfect.
Yeah.
This is like a Yakuza sub story.
That's the way it is. Janny realizes
I would love. You know what would be
he's
great?
going through the fire.
There's a sub story where
And then he
they
smiles.
cure you, or I don't know, whoever they can make playable nowadays.
Yeah.
They get involved in all this, and they eventually you have like Majima. He gets involved in all this, and he's like seeing everyone all the drama. And he just like walks away, and that's like the end of the sub story.
This is his Denny's joke.
He's like you know what? I don't know what these kids are doing, but I'm just gonna go back and play play Outrun. You know?
I imagine like this guy who runs up to Kiryu on the streets, like, "Kiryu, I heard you help people out. You gotta help me. This guy, he makes me live stream with him, and I can't leave the live stream for any reason. You gotta give me an excuse to
So I
leave."
pull the power cord out of my fucking PC and
Yeah,
see
then
there
it's
was a
like,
power outage.
and then it ends with the
He's looking for a way
the
to
Yakuza Zero like sad sub story theme or whatever. The one that the one is the one that's like
Yeah.
memed, the High Heaven.
Yeah.
He swallowed,
And
buddy.
it even gets used in like Lost Judgment in like a DLC
Oh.
where you're playing as like his Yagami's like partner guy,
Yeah.
not like like partner in like business, not that
Yeah.
Like a nice one that keeps
By the way, they
going
put out a
hours
trailer
long.
for the Yakuza Zero dub that they're gonna be putting
I
out.
can't break this, Jim.
How many ever years late it is now.
What do you got? Well, I got.
It's
I
the
got
gallon.
I don't know.
I got
Oh,
this.
we got Chris in chat. Hello, Chris. How you doing?
What?
I'm like, whoa,
Ooh.
buddy. It's really good though.
We're
Makes you hot.
covering.
Thing is,
We were covering some DSP earlier, and we're covering some other reprehensible individuals right now.
I think it's bigger than the one
Yep.
you got.
No,
Of the racket variety.
Yeah.
Buddy,
you're just way
the size of
smaller.
this one.
But yeah,
No
so
way, buddy.
Hold your
yeah,
phone
I just
next-
listened to like 5 seconds of the trailer, and Yang Ye sounds exactly like he always does.
Which is, I don't know. It's so ridiculous that,
I don't know, buddy.
I mean, I wouldn't say like the other guy. I mean, not that, I don't have any like, attachment to like the original voice actor, but imagine being like snubbed for like a decade's worth of games just because, the first game didn't sell very well. And they get to come back for the 7th one when they try to redub everyone. And then you get you get benched for this one guy who's like makes a bunch of YouTube videos shilling for Cyberpunk.
Or whatever
And, like,
Kojima's working on at the moment.
I never really watched many of any of his videos, so I don't know what all.
I watched him
He's
back
like-
during the MGS5 era. Like that's when I first discovered him.
Yeah.
And like I watched him like his stuff leading up to the game, like all his like little deep dive videos, being like, oh, what kind of clues are in this trailer? I just watched it for that kind of thing. And then when the game came out and I played it, and then I didn't like the game that much, like I went back to his videos, and all of his videos like, oh my god, Kojima's such a genius. Oh, look at the symbolism. Oh, he's such a genius. Oh my god. And I'm like, nah, I can't watch this.
I don't know. Like even the Resident art guys, like by the end of like towards the end of like towards the latter half of their MGS2 like thing, they were not like even like the main guy. He's like, you know, Kojima's not playing 5D chess here. He's not, you know, he's not like, you know,
Like,
it just so happens. It just so happens that, you know, MGS2, like 10 years later, we have Facebook and all this, and what you see what they're doing nowadays. You know,
like I was just like, I was thinking, guys, if your wife is like that excited about some dude showing up, you sort of need to assess what the nature of your relationship is.
And they dated before, right? Like
not Jem McCabe. I don't think he had dated Jem McCabe.
So was the other one?
this guy is like,
There was one of them that I thought he.
This shows.
talk about like coping hard.
Why viewership's way down, super chats are way down.
Like, oh, you know, you guys should be like, why are you guys like getting all what would, you know, if your wife was like swinging, you know, I don't know. These people definitely live. You know what? Looking at this picture right now, this is like an art piece. The way it's lit up.
Yeah.
This is like r/accidental Renaissance material, maybe.
You're in that voice too.
Like
It's
Aaron
extra
Better.
funny.
He is just like.
Oh, that was gross.
I am just imagining that his balls
Swingers
just
getaway for their anniversary a couple years back.
And the thing is, like, Nick made those like little AI voices for the super chat, and now people are using it to troll him.
Oh, really? I guess I have not kept up with the streaming meta to know that that's like a thing now.
Then maybe people will listen to your other.
That you can like have it AI like, you know, be like, you know.
Well, he.
Like,
Talking about me?
I don't think that's YouTube's thing. I think he's streaming on like some other website at the same time too, and I think that's what he's using. It's like it's another one of these like deep lolcow guys who made their own streaming service because they got kicked off everything. So
was it like DLive maybe?
No, it's like super obscure and proprietary. It's like it's even dumber than that.
Oh, yeah, because I was I think I heard
Yeah.
like
I see. I don't even want to like mention the guy's name because he's just like that crazy, and yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The guy who like made. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I heard like I was listening to the podcast yesterday, and they mentioned something about like some video search. I think like DLive was like apparently made by like the Kiwi Farms people. You know, I guess that's something I remember hearing.
Oh, okay. That's because I never see any particular live stream thing like propped up on Kiwi Farms.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you browse that site, and you browse that site way more than I do. So I
really only at first it was just the Nick Rekieta thread, and then I kind of stopped caring about that for a long time, and then just recently again with the Billy Mitchell, Karl Jobst stuff.
Well, yeah, Carl's just. I wonder what he's gonna do now. Is he gonna like make any videos? Is he gonna try to get himself out, to try to get himself out? Or
I think he's still for the moment he's still getting sponsorships, so I think he is still making videos for the paycheck at least, even if he doesn't get that much ad revenue. But I mean, looking at those screenshots, he seems to think that declaring bankruptcy is like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that he thinks like that now, considering he thought he was gonna absolutely demolish Billy in court over.
Like it feels like he's
murderer.
just like. Yeah, it feels like he's just going crazy now. Like he has he's just like scrambling. Like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? How do I get myself out of
He's
this,
somehow even more up his own ass. Like he still thinks he can get a win somehow. I don't know.
this is not related to anything, but I was looking at one of the I mean these are like Kino Casino clips, so I guess it makes sense. But like, what's his name? The name of his channel, I forget. Jeremy, whatever I forget. I've not been involved on like the YouTube like algorithms so long. I forget it's
quartering, yeah.
Quartering, yeah.
We could cover that too, because he's like, also begging these days.
Yeah, he's begging for like viewers to buy coffee.
Yeah, his nice store brand coffee.
Oh, okay. Like their YouTube. Yeah, that's another grift that they get involved in.
Yeah.
Oh, please buy my my Bitcoin only shop. Like, come on. Like even I don't know if it was like Bitcoin only, but like even Mental Outlaw. Like he has his own like store.
Oh, really? For Bitcoins and stuff, or something else?
It's not for Bitcoin. It's just for like merch.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like I just remember seeing that. I was like, oh, so that's how big he's getting now, huh?
Yeah, it always kind of rubs me the wrong way when these like super duper privacy Linux guys are like, here's my full name and what I look like and my address and here's my merch.
Yeah. Like at the very least, like Luke Smith, like granted he does a lot of stuff that doesn't really have anything to do with like technology, especially like in the last like the last two video streams of him like online are like just stuff to do with like the Orthodox Church basically and like his life journey.
Yeah.
Not like in like a it's all about him sort of way, but still it's like
his main thing is YouTube, right? That's where he mainly posts, or is it somewhere else?
He hasn't Luke Smith. He hasn't posted on like YouTube in like a few years, and it's like to such a point that like people were joking like because he was like saying he's like gonna make some trips to like Eastern Europe in that last video.
Yeah.
And people were joking like, oh, he got shanked in the Balkans.
Oh.
Because that's just what goes down. But obviously he's still alive. He does like a lot of stuff. Like I guess he has like a book printing thing where he takes like out of print books, he like translates them and like formats them and stuff. So it's not just he isn't doing like the usual thing that that a lot of these YouTubers do.
Yeah. Yeah, like because the way I discovered him at first was there's this channel called, I don't know if they still make videos, but called
New Pill, I think.
Yeah, the New Pill. Yeah, that's how. And it was mainly because I was looking up Sam Hyde stuff at the time, and that's how I found that channel. Because I know the videos are more like Sam Hyde oriented, and then but like at the time I didn't know that. I thought that was like actually one of Sam Hyde's channels, and I'm like, who's this Luke Smith guy? Like, are they friends or something?
Nah, I don't think they know. I don't think they know each other.
Yeah.
The viewer at home who lives paycheck to paycheck or is just, middle class, trying to get by, maybe trying
I'm assuming they're talking about his like grift and how he expects people to pay for,
so good old quarter pounder. So originally,
I was trying to remember what your nickname for him was.
Yeah.
And a quarter pounder. That's a good one.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, so he's asking for people to buy him his good old kofefe.
Yeah. So originally it was like this drop ship thing from like China. The same kind of business everyone does when they sell merch and they want to make extra money on the side. But then at some
they're like freaking out because of the tariffs,
Yeah.
And all,
but at some point, maybe like a year or two ago, he was like, "Oh, you know what? I want to make my own thing in America. I want to own my own brand. I want to get my brand in Walmart eventually, and all the regular stores and whatnot." He's like, "I want my coffee to be for everyone and apolitical, a nice like apolitical brand that you can support, even though it's like obviously not apolitical if you're giving money to Jeremy, but."
Yeah, I mean, it feels like anytime you start getting like culture war stuff, it's like.
I mean, like that's like if you just came out and be like, "This is the right wing coffee, and buy it if you want to support right wing causes." Like that's fine with me, but like to try and kind of bullshit and be like, "Oh, this is a political coffee." By the way, I'm a big right wing grifter guy on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember like when Black Rifle Coffee did. I forget exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like people still. The thing is, like, people like protest about a lot of this stuff, but they still drink it. Like I know.
Yeah, and actually, like I do see that in the groceries and stuff, but like, apparently they were like anti Kyle Rittenhouse, so it's like, all right, so you're not right wing, so.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I think that checks out because that happened. So I remember a manager of mine at one of the jobs I told you about. He was like it's like formerly like Green Beret or something like that in the military, and he still like had like a Black Rifle coffee mug or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, you could just not that it's like whatever
Ash, if you have to tell people you're smart,
but.
Yeah,
so he wants to like break into like selling it into Walmart, which is like that's awfully ambitious,
Yeah, for a YouTuber with waning relevance and like like Black Rifle Coffee, their business isn't being a YouTuber, their business is being a coffee business. Like that's what they started as.
Yeah, like the guys who sell like Black Label coffee, which has like a dangerous amount of caffeine in it. Like 10,000 milligrams or something crazy.
Yeah. So his coffee, aside from all the other stuff we just mentioned, like I looked it up on Amazon one time before, and it's like very overpriced for the amount you're getting. And then like all the review, he had this one like Mother's Day gift box special thing, and all the reviews on it were either 4 or 5 stars, and one single person left a 1 star.
Like 10.
No, like a 5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one single person left a 1 star review, and he did a whole video. Like he titled it like, "Oh, woke liberals try to cancel small local conservative business," and it's like.
Oh, okay.
It's like, come on, guy.
All over like 1 star review. I'm like,
yeah, he's like, and in the video, he's like, "This will literally destroy my business."
Yeah, I was like,
it's like, bro, you're charging $100 for less than 2 pounds of coffee.
That's why I asked, like, is this like out of 10? Because usually stars are like out of 5,
Yeah, well, on Amazon it's out of 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that, and like I don't actually know how well they sell or not, but he sells them on his own site, and then he recently started selling them on Amazon. And he could just be lying again, but he's saying like, "Oh guys, I sent way too many to Amazon and their markup is high, and if you guys don't buy my coffee, I'm gonna go broke. I've already had to sell some of my arcade machines and my Neo Geo collection."
Wait, does he actually have some of that?
I guess he did. I've never actually seen him play video games before, but
I mean, Neo Geo is not cheap. Depending on what you collect, and it's a whole thing. Basically, the most expensive stuff is to get the console cartridges, pretty much, and not like the arcade. I mean, the arcade ones, some of them can be valuable, but they're generally cheaper.
Well, and the arcade machines that he's selling, they're not even like original ones. They're just those 1-up arcade things that
good
you
old
put together.
arcade 1-up.
Yeah, the freaking IKEA arcades.
Those are like selling like we actually put those out at a certain retail store I used to work at, and those were like I wasn't in like the electronics department at the time, but those are like out there for like maybe a month at best, if I recall.
Yeah.
And then like it started like I think eventually they did this like every time. They would like have a new display for like arcade 1-up or like the vinyls when those were like when people were getting nostalgic for those like in like late 2010s.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised those have lasted so long because it's like $500 for like some like cheap plastic that you put together, and then it's like I mean, I guess I guess it's not feasible, but paying that much for a little LCD display in a cabinet that you put together, You know,
Yeah,
it's
that
like
actually, what you
if I'm-
just said actually
yeah.
reminds me of a
That last 3
a
months,
I
it's not going out of business.
don't know what this is about with eBay.
DSP business,
Do I have
meaning
to like
the
agree to
energy
this?
of it, guys.
No.
We
Okay.
gotta
It's
save
on me
the
review. Okay.
business.
Yeah, but that reminds me. There's like while at work, I'm bored. I'll look at like various like
I love the idea that he has top of the
arcade,
yogurt covered
like arcade.
pretzels.
These are basically like wood shop things.
Yeah.
And if I mean, if you wanted to put like together your own computer that can play way more than the arcade one up, and if you
Yeah,
have,
and like who, like I don't even know like what hardware that thing's running. It could be like dirt cheap ass like Android hardware for all you know.
I mean, I'm sure it's not a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they have like, I mean, it had like online play. I don't know if it's. I'm assuming it's with like other arcade one up players.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't. I've never really gotten into it. I just know like they were like selling Marvel 2. This was before they did like the big collection.
Yeah.
That Maximilian dude like screamed to the heavens about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. A lot of these arcade cabinets is just like 1 or 2 games on them. And it's like you're paying at least like $500 for like to emulate 1 or 2 games.
I think the Marvel one had a little bit more, especially the Marvel 2 one. It just, you know, like I think it had like a lot more than like just the 1 or 2, but still, it's like you could just play this on Fightcade and you probably get like better competition.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not see that we were like.
I really made a huge mistake. I'm not gonna.
I did not see you have this big giant conversation going on in the chat here.
Yeah, I'm just I'm keeping that going because that apparently also helps like the algorithm.
Engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening. If he doesn't get the $500,000 or whatever it is from
On
shaving
Mother's
his
Day is
head
crazy.
weird,
25 a month.
It's gonna be full panic mode over there.
Oh wait, a month? So it's a subscription?
Jeremy, I know you hate editing.
Wait, so like 25 a month for a coffee subscription? Oh my god.
I mean, I'm assuming that's just the option, right? It's not like you have to. You could go and get it for like,
Yeah,
whatever,
no,
however much it is, like once.
Yeah, I assume on yeah.
Because usually they give you like the option, like yeah, it's kind of like with Amazon. Sometimes they'll sell you like something like expensive.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh, please buy.
Oh yeah, if you like subscribe and save, like get like $2 off.
Well, no, not even just that, but like if you want to say like pay like what is it, like I don't know, $50 a month, and then eventually you have it paid off. But you have to like sign up for like this other service in order to support that, to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like way more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
So you're asking them to do super chats. You're asking them to get channel memberships. You're asking them to.
Yeah, this is like all the stuff that like content creators like. You make it big at some point.
Yeah.
They start doing this.
So
and
yeah,
I
and he's streaming to YouTube and Rumble and probably other places at the same time too. So you have all the subs and all the super chats on those websites, and then I think he has his own website with memberships, and he has his own, and he has the coffee on his own website, and now he's asking you to buy the coffee on Amazon.
It's like you gotta get like whole like little network basically. You have to have everything bookmarked on everything.
Yeah.
And it's like
at what point do you go like, all right, I'm making enough money putting out my slop content. Like, can't you just be satisfied with that? Like, no, I have to have my coffee in Walmart. Like, come on.
Yeah, I gotta make it. I gotta make it to the big time. You know.
Yeah.
Somehow, and it's like, is it really worth it, man?
Yeah. I like you could say like, oh, he's being ambitious. If he was being ambitious, like he'd put some more effort into his videos and his editing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or he'd put out some other kind of content instead of just
like the news, which I'll just say like the news at this point. I'm like, okay, if I want to see the news, I'll go on Reddit.
I'll go on Asmongold.
Or Asmongold. And
that's literally how I found out about the freaking World War Poo.
You know, and it's like, yeah, it's like, and you find out like it's because of like, you know. Wow.
So
anyways,
yeah, like
we'll get into some other.
We
really
talked about that
topic,
night. And then, like, the next night, I asked my parents, like, did you hear about that? And they're like, what? No. So it's like...
Yeah, I didn't see any headlines like like World War III or anything, but it's like the first time you hear about it is on Asmongold. This guy who's like in his like basement that's like house that like I also saw like a video where he apparently almost died or something.
Yeah, apparently he was trying to like catch some animal that may or may not be dead that was like rotting in his attic or something. And since he never ever cleaned his house ever, he like fell through a hole in his attic, and all the shit that piled up like was all over him too.
This house is going to become like the one estate you're on in Resident Evil 7, where it's like
oh yeah,
just like it's like run down and like not poorly maintained. That whole situation it reminds me of this one guy. I don't know his name or anything, but I guess his family got like all died, like his wife, kids, like got into like some massive like accident.
Yeah.
And like all of them died, like really bad. And I guess to cope, what he did was he got his house, and he just let rats just infest it.
Jeez.
Like he's living with the rats, and I think someone asked him like, eventually they asked him about his family, and that was when he like broke down. Like,
I mean, pet. You could have. I could understand if it's like pet rats or something, but like I'm pretty sure Asmund is living with like dead animals and trash and roaches and stuff.
All I gotta say is that whatever money he's getting paid, I sure hope that he can from YouTube and whatever else. He's he has enough whenever he eventually moves out. Because I mean, dude's got to eventually find something better.
Yeah.
Like he has enough money to like pay to clean that whole thing up. I mean, at that point, he may as well just get the whole house burnt down.
Right. Like I think there was a clip from like last year where he finally like addressed somebody like asking like why doesn't he clean his shit, and he was just like, I don't know, I just don't do it. And he's like, and someone was like, do you even like do laundry? And he's like, no, I just buy new shirts. So like he literally like if a shirt is like nasty, he just takes it off and tosses it and like puts on like a brand new shirt.
Not even the guy from the main character, Sato from Welcome to the NHK is like that, like lazy. That's like the crazy part,
Yeah. You remember that VTuber Kirsch?
Yes, I know that she could stand to lose a few pounds.
Yeah. Apparently she's like always had a crush on Asmund. It was like
I was fine making $20.
Damn. You can
if it meant new customers.
You can live like that and still get like not just her too, like her, Peepa and like some other VTubers for whatever reason they're like in love with Asmund.
Wait, Pika.
Pipkin Peepa.
Peepa. Okay, I thought you were referring to Pika-me, who's still around but going by a different name, from what I understand.
No, I don't think she has any opinion one way or the other on Asmund. I hope not.
Oh, okay.
May have to mark it down.
Yeah, I don't.
More, but
that's a part of the world I don't follow, but
So what are we gonna be
like two
taking
things
a
at once.
loss on each box?
But yeah, so like he clearly makes like millions. Like hire a cleaning lady, hire 10 cleaning ladies. Like,
I mean, yeah,
I get you're rich and lazy, but like pay somebody.
I'm hoping that today you'll buy.
I mean, my only thinking is like maybe his logic is like, I'm already lucky enough. I don't want to ever have to work again. He's like scared of like jumping back in.
Yeah. But it's like at some point you're gonna have to like retire, or you're not gonna be I don't know what his like relationship situation is, but like if you don't have
he's
like
obviously
kids,
spending money on like shirts. He's like buying new shirts when the one gets like soiled.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like at some point it's cheaper to clean than it is to buy new clothes every day.
He was thinking, okay, I'm gonna double.
I mean, that's kind of what I would have to do. The mentality I have to take with these old systems. I mean, eventually they're gonna fail because stupid
capacitors and whatnot.
Capacitors and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I would like to do myself, but even I'm under no delusion where I'm like, I know that's not realistic, you know.
Yeah.
Order 5,200 boxes.
I mean, if I could get to a point where I had money to spend like that, I would just hit up all those console repair channels like Spawnwave or
Ben Heck.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, and there's not Tronics Fix. Yeah, I think that guy. I think he has like 1 million subs or whatever too. Like, I'll just hit them up and be like, hey, I will pay you like infinity dollars to like make all my consoles forever proof.
And that's what I'd love to do with my PS3. I mean, because you got to think fully backwards. I mean, they only made some like like first year or two or free or whatever of the PS3. They made it to where it's like fully backwards compatible with PS2. So you have like something rare if it's like still working. You know, this is obviously not ignoring the elephant in the room with the whole stupid C-bomb thing that I don't think Sony ever
I don't think I think I remember hearing that either the PS3 or the PS4 did get a patch for that. I could be wrong too.
It was the PS4, not the PS3. At least explicitly, it got. Who knows? Maybe they did. In one of those like rare, like, oh, we're just updating it to support like the newest Blu-rays, you know, patches. Which is crazy to think that this system from 2006 is still getting support.
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining, but
yeah,
you know,
because like I would like to keep it because of all the Blu-ray players I have in my house, it's the best one still. So I would like to keep that working.
Yeah, and you know, you can wire it up to, because I'm pretty sure like my parents' Blu-ray player, which is another Sony brand, which also uses the cross media bar. I'm sure that thing does not use. I mean, yeah, they use it in like a bunch of stuff, like in that like late 2000s, early 2010s era. But I'm pretty sure that thing does not have analog out, or if it does, it's like only composite. You know.
Yeah. And then also like, you know, the PS3, and I don't remember if the PS4 does now, but the PS3 at least has the optical audio out, and like the Xbox Series X doesn't have that, and that's supposed to be this, you know, big all-in-one entertainment system, but you don't support like surround sound.
Or like, you know, sound bars.
Yeah.
I think the PS4 supports optical out.
It did. The Slim got rid of optical, but yeah, the base PS5 has, or PS4 has optical, and then maybe the Pro.
Okay, I think I remember the Slim one having it, but I could. This is like old. Like I had like this is old like 8 years ago. You know.
Yeah.
Like memories I'm going off of.
But I need a massive day. I need a massive day. It has the chocolate covered espresso beans, the honey sticks, the yogurt pretzels, and 2 bags of our delicious ground coffee. I don't care about the K-cups. If I don't move
he's just going full marketing mode.
Trouble. Like, big trouble. I waited and waited before I told. If I sell 3,000 of the 5,000, I will survive.
Begging for 3,000 bags to sell.
He needs 60% of like whatever he's output, huh?
Yeah.
So in the next week, he needs to move.
Like at this point, sell your business off to someone else who actually gives a shit, you know, and like knows what they're doing.
That's what companies do all the time, or you know, businesses do all the time. Yeah, sure, it might, you know, once it becomes publicly traded, you know, it's gonna go woke, but you know, like,
or do what the people at that place I used to work at did. Sell it to some Indians and tell them everything's perfectly fine, and they'll believe you. And then it'll be like months later, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, we got a raw deal."
Oh, is that what that? Well, I don't know how much you want to go into that.
That's as much as I'll say on that.
Pretty crazy.
And then maybe I'll rename it Father's Day and try to sell it for that. But yeah.
Father's Day.
Wow, he just admitted to like reskinning his product to sell.
Oh wow, yeah. Just buy my yeah.
think, by the way, like even if in desperation the fans pull the money together, the orders.
So it's like a different like a different product, or just like a different label, like Father's Day coffee or whatever.
This is crazy.
I'm assuming
pretzels.
I'm assuming it's probably just the box or maybe the label. So he'll probably just like peel off the label and be like, instead of Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then he just puts it in a box that says Father's Day.
There's no.
I mean, that's something you can afford to do when you become big and successful enough.
I had a call with the team.
But the thing is, like, just in general,
it's a very real conversation.
like if you're gonna be this, if you're trying to actually be successful, you don't have to go and announce it to the whole world.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, like, if you've ever watched his content, you know he's a lazy guy. Like, why? And he should know he's a lazy guy. Like, why do you think you're going to build an amazing American-made coffee company? Like, at most, he should have just stuck to drop shipping his coffee from China or whatever.
Yeah, or Vietnam, wherever they manufacture things nowadays.
Yeah.
Was brand new and hot, you could only sell 2,000 on Mother's Day, that you magically thought you could triple that number. Come on.
That's
yeah, I mean, it's like,
even to ship these,
you got to think like he's like a small time brand. You have to think about this as well. How many people know about Quarter Pounder here?
Yeah.
Listen.
Like,
oh yeah, if you don't know who he is, then you're never gonna hear about his coffee. Like you're not gonna come across it ever.
Yeah, I mean, he has like, I only thinking about this because he's on the Twitter, display there.
Yeah.
So like, think about Trump. Like, most people know about him. I mean, I knew about him mostly from like, him showing up on like TV every now and then for obviously, 2016. But like his thing was like, oh, I'm just gonna put my name on everything. Trump Tower, Trump this, Trump that. And be like, people would be like, who's this Trump guy? Why has he got like the biggest tower in New York City or whatever?
Yeah.
Now over here on the chat.
Well, that's the other thing. His coffee is called Coffee Brand Coffee. So like, who's gonna look at that? Like maybe if it's like the best tasting coffee in the universe,
which is a tall order.
Yeah, then you could get away with Coffee Brand Coffee, and your slogan could be like, "This is the coffee. This is the only coffee. That's why it's Coffee Brand Coffee." But if it's anything short of the greatest coffee in the universe, you need a good brand name.
Yeah, you need a better brand name than like Quarter Pounder Coffee or whatever it is. I don't know what you would call it.
The $10 off is only for subscribers.
The thing is that might like if you don't know who he is, that might honestly work. Like Quarter Pounder Coffee, like because then you would think of like the Quarter Pounder at McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, well, McDonald's. I mean, I'm pretty sure has no. They don't really care about. They're probably leftist, but
yeah,
for what he's trying to do, it's like, dude, you can't look the gift horse in the mouth if this is what you actually are desperately wanting to do.
Yeah,
because whenever you're presented with like, I mean, the thing is like, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm this superhero guy. I'm just stand for my principles, and it's like, okay, but if you're getting presented like $1 million, like, or even like $2 million, $5 million, however much is like enough for someone to easily like quit like working ever.
Yeah.
Even most people, they'd be like, well, I'll take the money, like,
yeah,
like, I'd be a fool to like, look at that because, I mean, think about it. That could be like generational wealth,
Yeah.
The next Disney movie will have a black princess.
Just like Billy's gonna get.
Yeah, like $1 million. Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
The way I also look at it is you also have to think like
I probably put too much stuff in the
there's this one guy, the next guy. He's kind of more. He's like more. I would say he's actually like kind of somewhat paranoid a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, justifiably and unjustifiably. How about is the way I would put it? Because he was talking about like in like this one video I just happened to randomly click on. Banks are going to basically make it where like debit cards.
Yeah.
And this is like a legit thing. Make it to where. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like
the projects and the budgets.
I think it's like they would make it to where your cards are not like necessary anymore.
You come to us and you
Oh no, okay. So I think what it is like they would get rid of your card. I think you could still use the card and the card number, but like they changed like the reader to where it's like more convenient to use a microchip in one's hand or forehead.
Hopefully you guys will.
If you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah. I really hope that. I mean, I'm sure it's going to happen, but I hope people don't accept that. I know that's asking a lot, but I hope people don't accept that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, obviously there's like all the thing people always. I mean, right hand, forehead, and microchip. The things they associate with that. And I don't know.
No, I hypocrite gonna say.
Who can really say what's gonna happen? Is all I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't think because everyone has their own opinions about that last book in the Bible, and it's either a metaphor or it's like post, it's pre, it's could be something, could be whatever,
Yeah.
like
Awesome.
I don't know. It's I just don't know what to think about that because I made mistakes. I'll just say this is going way off topic of like whatever is coffee, it's like flavor vanilla whatever that is. I don't. My mom drinks coffee. I don't.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm sure they're like I've watched I haven't seen this one before, but I have watched their other video on quartering, and they're pretty much just repeating themselves the whole time on what they're saying about the coffee.
And I'm getting like confused. It's like an hour and like a half and plus of like. I wasn't sure if there's like any other developments.
I don't think so. I think
Have you noticed this?
well, there's people on Twitter defending quartering, being like, "Oh, he's a millionaire. Like, don't you say shit about him." But like Jeremy himself is being like, "Guys, if you don't buy my coffee, I'm gonna go broke." So that's really the only other thing they were commenting on.
Yeah, it's like you're defending him supposedly, but then he's like, you hear from the man himself, like, "Dude, seriously, I need this money." It's like, well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not like on Twitter. Is it like kind of just like? So it seems like a lot of people who have if they're not SJWs, they have SJW leanings. Like people, they've all migrated to or mostly migrated to Blue Sky, right?
Yeah, there's still people that like stick around to try and like fight back, I guess, but for the most part, they're all on Blue Sky because
because they don't like Elon and what he's him like doing the stuff he does. Which
one because it's an echo chamber, and the easiest way to showcase that is like if you like misgender somebody, they'll ban your account. So like that's how woke Blue Sky is.
Oh man.
I just looked at the price of this thing. It's like $100 for. I don't even know what it is. Like, it's a big giant kit, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the Mother's Day thing or whatever, and it's like 2 pounds of coffee and then like some like quote unquote extras and like a cup or something, like a mug.
Yeah. I would have to. Not that I will, but I'd have to like ask my mom, like, so how good of a deal is this? And she, knowing how well, I don't want to say anything about anyone IRL, but let's just say, I don't think my mom would buy this. That's all I'd say. I know it's like a gift you'd give to your mom, but still, like she's got enough creamer or whatever creamer and everything else.
Oh yeah, no, my mom hates like going outside of her comfort zone with coffee. Like I'll be like, hey, this place has this thing on sale for like $20 a day, and she'll be like, that's too much.
That's what you just said, too much. That's kind of let's just say that's her mentality.
If everyone buys them and leaves a review, maybe more people will buy them on Amazon. I launched a.
Well, he's mostly just interested in people buying them. Not necessarily. There's like leaving a review on like Amazon's algorithm, like put it in like move it up or something.
Yeah, I think good reviews do move it up a bit. And I guess that's probably why he freaked out so much that he felt the need to make like a 15-minute video over the one single 1-star review he got. Maybe
Like I know, like Amazon has like highest best rated product of like whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think my the heater I got like a few months ago, I think that was like a top rated like product in that category or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even lose
I don't even think, because at least like the past like year or so, it doesn't seem like quality has been that much of a concern on Amazon. Like, if you just look up flash drive, like before you even see SanDisk or Samsung, it's like a bunch of like no-name Chinese brands that like all fail after like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like AliExpress,
Yeah.
Like Amazon just call them Amazon Express,
Yeah. And even if you click the thing that says like show top brands only, you'll still get that one like advertisement, like Chinese one, still above the SanDisk and stuff like that, like the actual good brands. It'll still have like one like promoted quote unquote cheap Chinese one that's like garbage.
Yeah.
No. And by the way, people who enjoy coffee already have their brand.
I like how he. I like how there's like one. His like icon's like a turkey or something. Was this like it's like during like Thanksgiving that he did this thing?
I think this is like recent, like past week or so.
Yeah. I mean, for all I know, maybe it's like something else, but that's what it kind of looks like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're mad about the coffee ads, I did one in 1 hour and 17 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna start selling turkeys next.
So we're supposed to be happy.
You're like, wow, you're. Is he gonna? I mean, that would, you know what? That would be do like a hunting channel.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of those there are on YouTube.
It's not even an ad. It's a bag.
I think the thing is like with YouTube, like the other thing of like the news stuff is like you have to. That's like a dime a dozen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of people doing news stuff. I mean, I guess some of the stuff we did about like talking about like Switch 2 and the PS5 Pro on certain other channel. I guess it's kind of like that, but it's we're not just doing the soy boy like the thing where
whoa, Switch 2 got announced. Like we actually try and like talk about it and like kind of dissect it a little bit.
Yeah, dissect it like we're just like I remember in like chemistry class. I think we used. I don't know if it was. I can't remember. I don't know if it was it wasn't alive, but I don't know if it was like a real worm.
Oh, the frogs, just dissecting the frogs thing.
No, we didn't do that. It was like a worm.
Oh,
it wasn't like a worm. It was like it was worm-like. I don't remember what exactly it was. I don't even remember. I just remember that was like just one of the more random. It wasn't one of the fun ones. It wasn't anything with like a Bunsen burner.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, no, in my school too, we did have worms as well, and like luckily we did it in partners, so like the smell was like making me puke. So yeah, so I just told my partner like, all right, you got to do this whole thing. I can't do anything here.
I'm just now imagining they put like two of them, two of those people together. It's like, okay, you both have to like do this,
We're like, all right, I'll take the F.
I'm just imagining now like a school where they change the grading scale to like W's and L's.
All right, I'll take the L.
And one of the teachers just said, "Hold this L."
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure there's Zoomer teachers already who are doing that.
Well, there's those. Well, I guess technically they'd be millennials, like the ones that like where the teachers like. I remember that one I shared with you where like the teacher like was like trying to have some intimate relations.
Check that out.
Oh
with,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
a student.
Yeah.
And she looked like she was like. And she looked like a freak herself. I don't know.
Yeah, the ones where like she's not even hot. It's like, ooh.
Look at this, Ash, and I'm gonna break down these stats for you right now, real quick. So what we see here is a
Live on Rumble.
drop, no subscribers.
Oh, it's Ultra Blade.
Yeah.
So how reliable are the metrics on social blade because I hear that people reference this all the time, and
I hear they're usually pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know people like cite stuff like Steam charts and the one. What's the one that tracks sales? I see people reference it on GameFAQs all the time.
VG charts or something like that?
Yeah, VG charts, yeah. That people talk like VG charts, be like, you can't rely on those, you know.
So. Yeah, I've always heard people say that, but I never heard anyone really say like why or like where they get their numbers from exactly or whatever. But I mean, I guess that's fair since they themselves don't really say where the numbers are from.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder about numbers just in general, if video games or just media in general, whenever they go and be like, okay, you can't do any reviews before the game comes out or the piece of media comes out.
Yeah.
Because last year it was the election.
Oh, so he's like gone from like, you know, crashed hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if this was the only thing he did, and he didn't have that stupid coffee business, he'd still be sitting pretty, you know. Like,
yeah, but because he's like invested, you know, resources into this.
Yeah,
it's not, and it's not. He's not getting good, you know, an ROI, a positive ROI on this.
Yeah.
He's, you know, he's panicking. You know.
Yeah. Like if I can make like, you know, 5K a month just like churning out slop news videos every day, you know, I'd feel pretty good about that. I mean, not about the quality, but you know, I'd feel like I'm sitting pretty and I'm not doing it like a job that I hate or something.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to think. Sometimes you have to look at what you're doing, and yeah, it'd be nice to earn. Like I just saw a short. It's more like 200. Just before we did this, about like some guy who was I forget what exactly he was selling, but he was selling. He's like some guy who's like 18. He was making like 14 grand a month.
Jeez.
In sales for I think it was like Home Depot. I don't know if it was like Home Depot or it was like some home related thing. Anyways, he's talking to the guy with brown hair. He probably the younger looking guy. I forget his name. And the guy was like talking like, oh, I want to retire be able to like, you know, say fuck you by 26. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, the guy was like, okay, you can. The guy even you know the guy himself was like, okay, you can like slow down. You don't have to necessarily. You have like 1 million by 26.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, it's not like a bad goal, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
If it sells, they're not gonna pay.
You know, if I could be sitting pretty, not necessarily a millionaire, but like still doing pretty good.
I mean,
doing something that you know I enjoy or at the very least don't hate. You know, I'd feel like I'm pretty successful.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I mean, sometimes you know you have some people talk about like, oh, things are too materialistic. You know, I wish, you know, it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, you know, people talk about like opportunity cost and like, you know, you should have done this and that in life.
Yeah, and of
know,
course, if I'm making like a good amount, I'd still, you know, invest into something, you know, relatively safe, you know, just for the future.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as like, you know, someone might look at like, oh, you have all these old systems you can just play on a computer, which you know, not all of them are reliably have good emulation.
Yeah.
But you know, like I don't regret investing what I have into this. Yeah, it's not appreciating value, but you know,
yeah,
it doesn't necessarily have to. Not everything has to be appreciating value, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that he's laying off.
And just as we were talking about this, I go and see you got Stick Sexton Hammer.
Yeah. I haven't kept up with him, but apparently he's had his own locale slide into degeneracy as well. Apparently he like hit his wife or fiance or ex-wife or whatever or something.
Yeah, it's like wife. They moved to like Europe or something for something.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I just the only thing I remember is in the year that 4chan 1 video.
Yeah.
There's that one clip where he's like in like soldier gear. He's like Hillary Clinton's about to make the biggest mistake of her life. She's about to get raided and destroyed by 4chan. You know, this is back before like 4chan. I don't know. It became like what it was like post 20. You know, after the adpocalypse, I think.
Yeah.
And he talked about this publicly, so I'm not speaking out of school. I have a feeling it'll work. He's good at branding.
And hopefully, I wish I had seen some of that stuff happen in real time.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea like that was all happening until like that video like
well, for me back then I wouldn't have even enjoyed it because back then college kind of had me brainwashed onto the other side a little bit.
Well, that was actually the year I was the year that all that happened, like 2016. That was like the year I got my associates.
Oh, okay.
That's why I remember like back then they were pushing the whole like refugee thing. They had, like, flyers all over. Like one of the classes I was at, they had like a flyer like right outside there, and I was like sitting there watching.
Oh, wow.
They're just like lecturing about. I think it was like an art class or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
Were they like trying to get you like the students to like taking refugees or something, or was it
no?
Just,
it was just like a flyer that they put. It's like one of those like random flyers that you see them like post on like the wall, like walking through like the halls and stuff. It wasn't anything like crazy like that. This is just like a community college, not like university.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't surprise me if, like, the college themselves were like, "Oh, you need to personally take in a Syrian refugee into your home" or some shit like that.
I'd be like, yeah, I live with my parents. They would be, even if I did do that, they'd be, I'd be staring at a 12 gauge.
Because my college, every few months, they'd be like, "All right, guys, you need to donate to us." Meanwhile, our dean just like spent $20,000 on like stuff for his office.
Or something.
Yeah.
Guys, this is crazy.
He's got the old reliable. This is the last time I'll be talking about Keno Casino.
Okay.
Oh, they like he called him out, like he name dropped him.
I guess, yeah.
Oh my God! By the way, this guy.
I think there was another clip I saw a couple months back where Styx said he would cast a hex on Keno Casino.
This meme, Marcus Aurelius, totally said that, guys. I don't know who this creator is though.
Oh, this guy, I actually didn't know he was a streamer until Keno Casino mentioned him. I thought before he was just like one of those like gimmick Twitter accounts that usually posts like some right wing stuff, and he's usually like on point with the stuff he posts on Twitter. But I guess on his live stream he's been defending like quartering and stuff, being like, oh he's fucking he's a millionaire, don't make fun of him.
All I gotta say is this guy looks like Doug Walker's cousin. A little bit.
Yeah.
Like if he had like
if he had more hair.
Yeah, if he had more facial hair and hair on the top.
And hair on his head, yeah.
He's very emotionally incontinent, and he's crashing out in a big time way and lashing out at his own audience.
Yeah, like all I knew about this guy before was just like his occasional Twitter posts, so it's kind of a little disappointing to see he's like getting involved in lol cow shit like this too.
LP Original G, that's his name.
LP Original G. Oh,
I mean, it's going off of like.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Here. On Twitter, his account is iHypocrite.
Oh, that must be what it is.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out distinguish the signal from the noise there.
Yeah. PowerChat.live. I haven't heard of that one either. Let's check out PowerChat.live.
Power Chat. Bring the power to your stream. Gotta be the tagline for their ad.
Yeah.
But that might be too 90s. You know what? I just would be funny if a Quarter Pounder turned into either Flex Tape Guy or Billy Mays. Yeah. like, and it's like he's trying to clearly emulate the energy of like Billy Mays, and you know,
yeah,
is gonna save Western civilization. That it's gonna make an actual political difference. And by the way,
I don't know,
Yeah,
but it makes it seem like you have to pay to like use their service, powerchat.live. I don't know, the website's kind of weird.
And it's like, buddy,
yeah.
Nick Fuentes is with Kanye West. Like, you
Yeah.
really think he's gonna
Should we
bother
talk about
going
Kanye?
to your irrelevant loser program just because
I have
he's
not.
lazy?
I don't know what's going on with Kanye. Other than you're talking about the music video.
She's trying to say
I wasn't sure if you were referring to something else.
Oh, by the way, we got Ryan in chat. He was there watching our Andy and Lily playthrough.
The story behind that.
I didn't know, but yeah,
Ryan, how'd you like our? Because I didn't hear from you too much. How'd you like our last stream with Andy and Lily? And Chris, did you listen to Kanye's new song yet?
Because he was that desperate for pussy that he wrote he was a stupid goyim on his forehead for some catfish.
But yeah, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's I mean, content aside, the song itself is a little catchy. I have to admit.
Yeah, I only listened to it to like once, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
He's definitely skirting the line. That's all I'll say. So, probably we should say, anyways, you know.
Oh, but it was dropping to 3,000. From 8,000 to 3,000.
But yeah, you're talking about like they were making a point about how like
it's the internet. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. You just have to like ignore.
I don't know what the hell I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I was like, I went on like the stream,
I'm gonna skip
you know,
past
like
that.
our actual stream,
Yeah.
and then I go and see like whatever that was.
Yeah.
This isn't about his income.
I have never heard of. Well, I guess I have a. That's makes two of us, Dr. McNinja, Gun, whatever your name is. Hacking people's income is cringe. Is he go sleep? Yeah, that sounds about right.
And taking enjoyment
Chris, it's subjective. That's how I'll answer your question. It is subjective.
I'll just say it depends on what you mean by the word dad.
The music itself, the instrumental is very catchy.
And now look, that's why it's fun.
As for the title and the lyrics, just take a flight to Google. You'll see what we mean.
I linked to it in the Facebook chat, so you can see it there.
Because he did. He said that.
Oh,
he said it's bad. I guess he listened to it.
But the thing is, you could be saying bad in like the '80s way, like Michael Jackson. I'm so bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, well, these guys can't, laugh at quartering mismanaging his business because they only make $50,000 a year.
Yeah, I remember you were making a point like a few minutes ago about like, oh, this is gonna save Western civilization, and it's like,
yeah.
And I hear that like from a lot of these grifter types, like they always try to do this like weird like self-important like try to make like seem like they're saving the world, and I understand if like someone's like a teenager, you're not really you're not like mature enough in the world, have enough experience to like really know how things work. But like when you're like, however, you gotta be like, Courtney's gotta be in his 30s or something like that at least, right?
Who?
I mean, the quarter pounder, he's gotta be like in his 30s.
Yeah. I would probably say closer to 40 by now because it's been around forever.
I was gonna say like 30 or 40s, yeah.
Loud, folks. I'm sorry.
But like whenever you're saying like, "Oh, this is gonna save the world," it's like, it's kind of hard to cringe.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like even when I would like initially trying to tinker and get frustrated with the gyro and like Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Because I figured that game would like just work naturally because there's like profiles for days for that game.
Yeah.
There's like this like targeting range thing you can do to like try it out. And like one of the things they do is like you like after you shoot like so many targets, it'll be like, you just saved America. Yeah, okay, we know. Like even this is like in the global offensive. I don't know if they still have it in Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
bro. Stop trying to pretend you're above stuff as you directly engage in it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think people use aim lab to test that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Because it like literally like rates your like how accurate you are.
Exactly.
Which
Ethan
is,
Ralph's walking hand goes, it's beneath me. If you're reading someone else's comment section, it's not beneath you.
No. It's like, okay, it's beneath you. Like in what?
But yeah, one thing I will say, I saw someone say this on Twitter about the Kanye song. They said if he said "Hail Satan," no one would be batting an eye at all. And you know,
which goes to show,
yes, he does a cringe
how
once a week. That's what he does. Yeah.
How like I don't know how I guess like the emotional programming is for you know
I wonder what Lyndon's take was.
you know who.
There's nobody who's like that.
You know, because of what he did or what he did or didn't do at a certain scale. I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if you know what we're talking, if you know about the song, you know what we're talking about. So.
Yeah.
And I said, now I'm gonna listen carefully. I'm gonna try to explain this like I'm talking to a 5-year-old here.
Like, you notice how condescending and how smug and pretentious he is? Do you understand, like, being smug?
I feel like we're mostly talking over this, just like with every now and then we'll see like what they're saying.
Yeah, I've honestly not really. I stopped paying attention after they finished on Quarter Pounder there.
I mean, obviously the face is, hilarious, You could turn that into like a soy jack, or advice animal.
5 years old.
Chris said it's not acceptable for Kanye to say the hard R.
And by the way,
I see that. Tread Dangerous can talk. No, we certainly can. We're talking I'm talking as we speak right now.
I mean, should that be a segment on Tread Dangerous? Should we go into Actually, we shouldn't. That's just gonna get deleted.
Yeah, if we got to actually say like, the problem is we'd be okay. You know what?
Because we did that one video just showing like the Ruby homophobic memes, and that got us like a strike. So
yeah, you had to send it to the Rumble Zone.
Yeah. So we probably can't talk about that.
Which sounds like I don't know, like an NFL game before EA got the
Rumble Zone.
Yeah, NFL football, the Rumble Zone.
I miss when we had those like more creative kind of like sports games that weren't all about like realism.
Yeah, like what's Mutant League?
Yeah.
On Genesis.
Or even just like the NBA Street games. Like I know those are more realistic, but they're still more arcade than like 2K whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind the 2K games. Oh well, okay. I don't mind the Dreamcast, PS2 era TK games. I don't know what they're doing nowadays.
I've played a few of them on and off the years. I will say I do like when they try to have a story mode and like you create your own character, because that can be like unintentionally hilarious.
Oh yeah, because you could like make them like look whatever, and it's like
and the story tries to be like really serious. Like they even got like Spike Lee to direct one of the story mode campaigns one year.
I know the name. I don't know what they directed, but sure they're talented.
Yeah.
I just remember like NFL 2K1, what you can do, or maybe it was 2K3. I don't remember. For the created guys, like if you want to make like a super OP like lineman, what you can do is you can like set the height, because if you set it to like high, it like only lets you go up to like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
If you set it to like 5 foot whatever, set it to 400, then go up to like 7 feet.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
I used to do that all the time in one of the N64 games.
Yeah, I would do. See, the only reason I would do that is just to mess with my brothers.
Yeah.
And they like get like frustrated. And they just 7-foot tall guy if you go to make a throw, and they like catches it, like intercepts it, and then like I go and make like a Hail Mary catch pass, and like it always like catches it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not like this isn't a shield.
Extinction level event. An extinction level event.
Yeah, the Thanos, Sonic, whatever happened in the comics, and like the, you know, I assume you would know more about that, but like the Thanos guy, not Thanos, and like the one guy, what's the Archie Comics guy, Ken Penders did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where they're like trying to reboot it, and they're like, okay, we have to have an end game level event to like, you know, continue the story because Ken Penders like went into like a weird direction.
I would say the stuff they're doing now is weirder than anything Ken Penders did because they're showing.
Well, yeah.
They made like. Yeah, they have Sonic with like black skin and like trans surgery scars, and he's giving like children sex talk. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's weirder than like, yeah.
That's the point I was making. It is true. I wasn't saying.
I mean, I'm sure Ken Penders would approve of that stuff, but I don't think he would actually ever write that shit himself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what all I know. The only example I hear about with Ken Penders and whatever he's doing is that there's like one moment where I guess like Sally has to enter a certain pool in a certain state. That's all I'll say. I don't want to say.
I can. Yeah. What I really know about Ken Penders is he's obsessed with the Echidna clan, and he's obsessed with giving Charmy the Bee like the most horrific, tragic backstories ever.
They did a bee genocide.
Yeah.
They did it with they invaded this other like bee tribe from the Bee Movie invaded. And they killed like literally everyone.
Pretty much.
I just believe made that up. I
didn't know the Bee Movie. Yeah, I mean that's close. That's more. That's close. Pretty close.
Oh really? I did not know. I was like
not so much like the Bee Movie, like multiverse coming in, but.
I just threw that in because I just know that was a thing, and people made fun of it back then.
Yeah.
You know. Like kind of like the Emoji Movie. You know?
Yeah.
You're probably not better than other people.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end the stream on because we've run out of interesting lolcow entertainment. For
yeah, I mean the thing is like lolcow stuff. It's. I mean, what we got like what, like 20-something years.
Yeah.
Technically, if you consider certain people of the Channing and Christian variety.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, Chris said in chat someone typed the Bee Movie script.
Wasn't there like a meme with that? Or like
yeah, that was one of the memes where like people would like paste that into stuff to like troll people. The entire script.
I know there's like the Emoji Movie and the Bee Movie where it's like, you know, but every time it's cringe, it like gets like faster or slower or whatever.
I've seen a ton of those, yeah. Or, like every time Jerry Seinfeld does this, the speed increases by 2x.
Every time there's like a weird thing in Food Fight, which was made. You want to hear the craziest thing? Food Fight was actually made by the same guy, or at least the same studio that made the first two Mortal Kombat movies from the 90s.
Oh my god. That doesn't surprise me.
Like the first Mortal Kombat movie, I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, the first one's enjoyable, but...
It's not peak cinema, but, you know, the second one is like...
I couldn't even finish the second one. That was... Oh my god.
I've never seen it. Like, even when I would, like, you know, I was a kid and I didn't know any better, I would, like, beg, like, them to, like, tape, like, because we didn't have DVD. Yeah. We didn't have, like, recordable DVDs. We had, like, VHS. And I was like begging him to like record that, and like my brothers be like, no. And I did not know about the CGI, whatever the hell that movie turns into at the end. Like I did not know about that, and how like Liu Kang, Shaolin warrior from China, becomes a black Elden Ring dragon versus like this weird Hydra worm thing that Shao Kahn turns into.
Oh, see, I didn't even get that far. I watched like half the movie. I'm like, I can't finish. This is stupid. I can't finish this.
At the very least, watch the end. If you have to see the end, just how like ridiculous and stupid it gets.
Yeah.
Like just how bad the CG is.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, and it's funny. Like the fight starts out, and it's like it starts the Mortal Kombat movie or the Mortal Kombat theme, and Shao Kahn he starts punching like Liu Kang, he starts stopping him, and then it's like the music stopped.
Yeah.
And I remember Nostalgia Critic when that happened. He's like Mortal Kombat. And he like collapses on the desk. So, yeah. Like you said, Chris, don't see the whole movie.
Yeah, no, that's time you're never gonna get back.
Yeah, like at least the new movie is what problems it has. At least it has like fatalities. The second one
it actually
that's coming
has
out.
like stuff from the game, kind of.
The second one that's coming out, I don't know what. Let's just say I think they might be like not. The impression I get is they're one that it seems like it'll like end it. On, like the second like reboot movie.
Yeah.
Like.
It's been so long since the first one, and the first one came out like in the middle of COVID when like no one was going to theaters anyways.
Yeah.
And it's like how many people are even gonna like care? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't even know when it releases, but it's like 5-6 years later. I mean, I know someone might be like, oh, but that's how like Terminator was, but like back, like Terminator 2 is like, those are classics,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
And like
is
the guy who's playing Johnny Cage, like he's getting old. Like he's a good actor, but he's getting old. Like I don't think he can pull off like Mortal Kombat stunts.
Like if they're trying to do like adapt like Mortal Kombat X, where they do the time skip forward and they try to do the combat kids, and only one of them I would say is definitely like Takeda. He's definitely a win, and like if I'm being generous, maybe Cassie Cage is like the only other one I'm like all right with.
Yeah.
But that's mostly just because she has the one fatality where she does the selfie.
Oh yeah.
Like that's about it.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. On that note, thank you. We're gonna end the stream here. So thank you all for tuning in. We had a little bit of a different show today. Hope you liked it. I don't know how often we're gonna do this. I just thought we would do this tonight because DSP and Rekieta were acting up quite a bit the past couple of weeks, and I thought it made for enough content to talk about for a little while.
Yeah, we already talked about like the Switch 2 thing with DSP, mostly.
Yeah.
I don't remember about, unless he's been like complaining about it constantly, like that's all he's done.
Yeah, he did do that for a few streams, and then the rest of it was just his usual begging. Like he's been begging more than usual. I guess I guess he's like really hurting because like Kino Casino like finally cut him off like for good like back in March. So I guess he's really been feeling the pain financially, I guess.
I cut off that part of that gravy train right there, huh?
Yeah. And they did a whole stream with Kino. They did a whole stream with It's a Gundam like a month or two ago, where they went over all the DMs. And the thing is, Phil is the one who leaked the DMs. Like Kino Casino, they didn't leak the DMs. Phil is the one who leaked it, and he tried to make it look like he was like, "Oh, I was fooling them the whole time. I was the mastermind. This is just me pretending and lying."
Matt or something where like
even though he looks really really pathetic in the DMs, but he tries. But for whatever reason, he thought it would be a good idea to leak it and be like, "Yeah, I was just fooling them the whole time."
just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of like this one guy on like the Philippines. Oh yeah, there's like a thing.
Oh yeah, the guy who got arrested. Yeah,
he got arrested, and they said they were gonna make an example of him. And what's his what's his? I always get his name mixed up.
The guy who got arrested.
No, it was Asmongold. He covered this, and he mentioned like this guy is getting off lucky because the previous Philippines president let's just say he didn't play around.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll just say, for as much as people complain about Trump and Elon, they should be glad they don't have Duterte.
Oh yeah.
That's all. Like people don't know how good they have it. You know,
Yeah.
for as much as they've done, you know,
Yeah.
that side of things of the political aisle has done. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be a whole another topic for another stream. But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
So hopefully you guys, anyone still watching, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, let us know in the comments or whatever. But as for right now, this is I can't see this being a normal thing unless like all these guys start acting up like all the time. And it's, you know, real funny to cover it.
Yeah, man, I don't know. There's some things that's like the thing is these guys degenerate so hard sometimes it's like doesn't become funny anymore.
Yeah,
because like, you know, like stuff with Rekieta, stuff he was gonna do by his child's room.
Yeah,
or a certain thing that Chris Chan somehow is not getting like life in prison for.
Oh yeah, jeez.
You know, like 2 or 3 years ago, however long it's been.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed that never went to trial. That would have been glorious to live stream.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, what is they like said like, oh, this is like an unprecedented case. I'm like, I don't know how often stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Like that exact like Oedipal situation there.
Yeah.
Literally. And not, you know, like
yeah. But like even then, like I'm pretty sure whatever county he's in like doesn't have a whole lot going on, so it's like you guys didn't have the time to like get some legal heads together and like press charges. Like, come on.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not operating at that level. Neither of us are.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah.
Hopefully tonight was entertaining for y'all. And hopefully you'll catch us whenever we stream again. And you know, aside from this, let us know what else you'd like to see as well. Well, you know, we'll give it a think, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we're always discussing. I mean, there's certain things we discuss. Some of it, I mean, at least I'll admit I'm kind of pushing for. That, you know, it'll be some interesting content. You know, some stuff that might be a little bit less heavy than like real world stuff. I can't talk right now.
Yeah. And then if there's any particular games you want to see us play, drop a suggestion, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And until then, have a good night.
Johnny.
Okay, offline. Wow. All right, so 29 live views, not bad.
Yeah, I realize I'm doing like gesture